All right, so 6 players have sat down. Paul Fwa, Elton Sang, Gabe Pogorski, Phil Ivey, Kwok, and ST. 200,000 euros a person. I mean, this is going to be great. We've been watching tournament short deck the majority of the time, but now we're going to get some cash game. I think the hands are going to be very different. So those purple chips are 1,000 euros, and red plaques are 10,000 euros a piece. They're playing 100 antes deep. Should be a lot of fun. You know, Elton was very driving to action the other day in our €1,000,000 cash game, playing some of the hugest pots alongside Jason Kuhn and Kane Callis. Now, let me just remind you, this is a short deck cash game, so the 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s have been removed from the deck. A flush will beat a full house in this game, and an ace can make a low straight acting as a 5. So if it comes 6, 7, 8, 9, and you have an ace in your hand, you will have a straight. So a lot of high rollers who are used to playing such big stakes. Queen Jack of Spades for 16,000 euros.
And 200,000 euros actually seems like a pretty shallow stack for this game, doesn't it? With a 2K ante?
It does seem.
It's basically like 33 big blinds.
But the thing is that I think they want to play shallow now, but as time goes on, this game will get very deep.
Right.
And that's when it's going to get extra fun.
Yeah, right now I think we're going to see a lot of gambling pre-flop.
Yeah, I don't expect anyone to be in for one bullet and then bust and be like, okay, I'm going to fly home now.
Here's Paul Fwa. Queen Jack under the gun. Makes a call. It is a standard call. You're going to see a lot of limping in this game. The reason why is because of the blinds and ante-structure. It's basically like every single player at the table posts a small blind, and then the button is the big blind. It's over to ST, who's raising it up here with 9-8 offsuit. We saw ST play pretty snug in the long deck cash game, Randy. Are you surprised to see this steal from him?
Well, I have no idea how he plays short deck. He might be just like a short deck expert that we don't even know about. So maybe he's playing his image. It just started, feeling things out. And like we said earlier, it seems a bit short stack right now, but can easily get very deep.
Saying clock can open anybody's hands.
So I'm actually very excited to watch Elton Sang play short deck. I've never seen him play, but I just feel like he's going to be ready to fire some interesting bluffs. But maybe he's got a new game today, who knows? So Ivy limps pocket eights. Now, Ivy got third place, right, in yesterday's. He got third place in yesterday's million Hong Kong dollar buy-in short deck event. He won 1.66 million USD.
Yeah, he also won the opening event of this series. It was a 250,000 Hong Kong dollar buy-in event.
He won, what, 600,000 USD in that event. So he's up 2.2 million in short deck tournaments alone. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think a little over 600,000. I think he won 6 million Hong Kong was the first place prize on that.
Yeah, so slightly,
A little bit more.
something like that. It's a good result regardless.
Yeah.
So looks like we got a set of eights for Ivy. He's raising in 64,000 euros already. Paul Fwa with top pair, top kicker. He's going to lay it down. Nice fold by Paul. He was drawing very slim there.
Now, Phil Ivey did not have very much luck in the last live stream cash game we had, which was long deck. He didn't have very much luck in either of the long deck tournaments. Maybe short deck's his new game.
So hope you guys are enjoying this cash game stream. We promised you guys high stakes. We got high stakes for you. Mixing it with short deck today. Pogorski, I'm actually quite interested in the way he plays. When I spoke to him, he seemed like a very aggressive player in short deck, so I think he's going to make some plays, and we saw him play as well. Quack, Ace King offsuit's going to bump it up. Ivy's going to come along. There's 60,000 euros in there already in this pot. So Ivy actually flops pair nines and a straight draw, Quack with 2 overs, but a draw to the nuts. So he's going to check. I like this check from Quack. Turn is a 6. Doesn't really change anything. Ivy checks again, and Quack's going to take another free card. River is a 9, so Ivy's got trip 9s. I would love to see him bet now. Just try to get value out of like a king-queen type hand. He's going to bet 50,000, but Quack just doesn't beat anything. And this pot's over.
continue 噶嘛，咪喺佢隔離台咯。哦。喜歡的我們打幾個小時都可以。這播幾個小時？中國沒播，現在不可以播。回老台有。我打半個小時給你。沒事，隨便打過。
Alright, so Elton's bumping up with Queen Jack offsuit in the cutoff for 24,000 euros. Should see Quack fold his hand. If we see the gray plaques, those will be worth 100,000 euros apiece. Looks like Elton Pogorski called here King 9 suited. Seems a little bit loose for 24,000 euros.
Yeah, King 9 suited, not a great hand in this game. Having suited cards is less important in short deck than in no limit hold'em.
So Elton here, top pair queen kicker. It's gonna fire. Take down this pot. So Gabe Pogorski is a regular in high-stakes cash games.
Yeah, a lot of the players at this table have become primarily short deck players. Of course, as we know, Phil Ivey, very talented at all forms of poker.
I can say that.
So this game's a little bit less chatty than our 1 million euro buy-in game. It's funny, it's like the lower the stakes, but a little bit less chatty. It's interesting, but we'll see if that people liven up.
Yeah, I'm sure as the night goes on, people start getting some drinks.
Elton's calling pocket nines. Quack here, pocket queens. I would love to see him limp shove this hand, don't you think? It's actually, yeah, he's practically all in. So he's all in for 160,000. It's going to get 2 folds. Yeah, just 162,000 euros in the pot. Pocket queens, no big deal. But actually is the optimum play there.
电话不能这样照，放在上面啊。不照。这个地道送钱。现在把一个老鬼赢了200万。这把一套可以200多万。20多万美金啊！他这4个草牌，拿个草牌。 他有牌，他们是不相信他的。对啊。
All right, so Paul here, pocket nine is going to limp.
拿到牌了吧？他哪里忍得到？800就来了，770多。
Kwok raising it up here on his button to 34,000 euros. It's going to be tough for Paul Foy to continue here, but he does call.
Paul does call. I kind of prefer him just to limp jam over limp calling. At least like you can isolate and get in against a flip like ace king, ace queen.
I think folding is probably the best play here, but yeah, I'd prefer to see him jam simply because his hand doesn't have very good playability, especially the short stacked.
And we saw Elton lay down ace jack properly. Pocket nines here, it's really hard to win if you don't flop a 9 with little pocket pairs in this game. So you just auto check fold these boards. Yeah.
Thank you, 老板。Thank you, boss.
Kwok takes it down with ace queen high there. His equity was actually ahead in the hand, though. That's part of what makes 9 so difficult to play in short deck. In short deck, you're never going to get a board where 9s is an overpair to the board.
I'm like thinking about it right now. 6, 7, 8.
It's possible.
It is possible.
It's
and
possible.
That's actually a good flop for you.
Yeah, I don't think we would have seen Foy folding on a 6, 7, 8 flop.
So 200,000 euro minimum buy-in. This game is bigger than the buy-ins to yesterday's event, the million Hong Kong dollar buy-in, and it's bigger than the main event here. And I expect these guys to be firing multiple rebuys in here. So there's going to be some big winners. Elton coming along, Queen Jack of Diamonds. A 4-way flop. 20,000 euros in the middle.
Ace 7, 7, we see a lot of players bet top pair type of hands here to protect. That's why we see Ivy betting out here on this board. And he actually gets value from the ace 6 of Kwok. I can't imagine what Kwok thinks he's ahead of when Ivy's betting. The only thing he beats is a pure bluff. So I probably would have laid down the ace 6.
Well, Ivy's going to check. We should see Kwok check here. I think we'd be too thin of a value bet. So, going to get shown the bad news shortly.
Chop.
No chop.
No chop. Oh, no chop.
缩水了。其实这一张就是 river。
Yeah, the river does counterfeit the chop, actually, right? Yeah, ace, ace, 7, 7, queen. So that's what he was referring to. Phil Ivey already up 78,000 euros.
Phil Ivey tends to play a pretty loose game in short deck compared to his no limit hold'em game. He likes to see a whole lot of flops. He doesn't really like to be ultra aggressive pre-flop. We have seen him make some big moves post-flop though.
Right, 20,000. Call.
All right, Elton's going to raise 8, 9 of clubs under the gun. Pogorski flatting Jack 9 offsuit, and Ivy's got pocket aces. In the given okay, I think he just went all in with aces. Yeah, I was going to say aces probably all in is the best way to play this hand, given the stack sizes.
Yeah, if you 3-bet to any size here, you're almost all in. I mean, A pot-sized 3-bet here would put in about half your stack. And look at this, ST with ace-king behind. I don't think he's going to fold.
No, I mean, that's why you make the shove all of aces, because it kind of looks like you're doing this with like ace-queen stealing or like, you know, pocket jacks and queens. So ace-king seems like a slam dunk call. He folded
Wow,
ace-king.
he does make the fold. Great fold there.
It's a great fold. I would think it's a slam dunk call because of the side action you would get overlaid. And if he's up against queens, well, he's a slight favorite in the pot. But very nice laydown for him.
Right,
there.
there's about 50K in the pot other than Ivy's shove, so he was getting a kind of a good price. The problem there is that he's really up against a range of like ace, king, aces, and kings.
Well, Ivy shows pocket aces.
Probably queens as well.
Did you see that? Ivy was like,
Yeah.
No need show one, show all this table, huh? Can show one.
If I call, you guys call?
Can string bet.
Call, I call.
But
Everybody
not too
call.
obvious, not like.
I'll string bet, don't worry.
And then,
I'll show you how string bet's done.
yeah,
Vegas style.
like, cannot be
Okay.
more than 3 seconds.
All right, string
I'll
bets.
show you how string bet's done,
String
okay?
bets are live.
I've never seen Ivy smile so much, but in cash games this week. Tournaments, he's like very serious, but cash games here always get a smile out of him. So a 4-way limp pot, 20,000 euros. I feel like there's always going to be at least 20,000 euros in this pot. Do you have any idea? Can you straddle in this game?
I don't think so, because the button puts in the big blind. I don't
Right.
know where the straddle would be from.
There must be some unique Paul Flaw straddle out there or something in this game. I would love to see some kind of funny straddle rule. All right, so Pogorski's betting with Jack 9. He literally has nothing. Ivy's calling him with King Queen of Diamonds. Elton, trip 10s. He's got the best hand. He's going to raise. This is, I've always been saying in this game, you need to be fast playing your hands because it's just so vulnerable. And Ivy's going to lay down his flush draw.
No one has.
I like to see the next spot.
Yeah, I want to see how many tens come out. Turn river. That's what I'm gonna do.
Just had a bad 10.
Same.
I had the sixes.
10-7.
10-5.
Did you? Did you really?
Yeah, 10-5, man. Couldn't
Count of 5.
keep going.
Yesterday's winner in the short deck event was Jason Kuhn, 28 million Hong Kong dollars, equivalent of 3.58 million USD. That's his biggest cash, I heard.
Yeah, that's a pretty big one.
Oh, very tiring to deal.
Very tight game.
Elton pointing out it's been quite a tight game so far.
Oh.
I think he's trying to liven it up.
Check, check.
So Kwok turns a straight.
Check. Check, check.
Trying to trap.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see him check there. There are a lot of bad river cards like that one.
It is a bad ripper card, and Elton's the one stabbing. He's actually going to get Pogorski to fold the best hand, the better hand, but he gets Kwok to fold.
Look at that. He gets it through there for only a half-pot bet.
Yeah. No, Elton's going to be looking to steal these small pots.
Yeah, we saw Elton. He was one of the more aggressive players in the cash game that we had that was long deck a couple days ago.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that Kwok, maybe he hasn't played too much with Elton. It's early in the game, maybe people are thinking, well, who's going to bet here without a king was his thought. But he's going to be disappointed to find out he was bluffed there. So Quack comes along with ace, queen of clubs.
Call. Call.
Paul's with king, jack.
It is Quack betting out here. He's saying, you know what, last hand he thought he let his opponent catch up. This time he's just going to bet and try to take it down. But Elton calling with the inside straight draw. Now remember, an ace counts as a 5 here. And look at that, Elton hits the straight on the turn. He is a 100% to win this pot.
Well, let's explain to the viewers why it's a straight. The ace will act as a 5, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 5, aka ace.
哎，多少？
Quack correctly checks here. Normally, when
160.
Elton calls there, it's very, very unlikely that the 6 improves him.
He's all in.
Wow.
He's drawing dead.
哇，順啊！
顺子啊？顺子，
孙子孙子，
三个都是顺子，
So Quack,
没追。
0% chance to win this pot.
妈逼，这个卡龙买的20万，
Hits a gut shot. That's going to be our first all in. Drawing dead.
Bad news for Quack, and the relatively loose play of Elton pays off there. I think after winning that pot, Elton is currently the biggest winner at the table so far.
Yeah, 200,000 euro buy-in for everyone. He's up 276,000. Just won a lot of money there.
这帮没办法打。
Quack
沒辦法啦
is。going to need a reload to continue this cash game.
最後也是10個2頭，我買住卡龍沒辦法。
誒，個鐘多啊，弟。你集數啊？
Looks like they are bringing some chips over.
180.
cover cover。
嗰啲細碼唔使太多啦，唔使細碼啦。換咗佢啦嗬，太多啦。
你哋要啲，冇人搶啲。
買了一個底，OK，你自己去。
So Quack here gets another 200,000 euros right now.
20萬，
嚟攞100萬，
Rebuys back in for the minimum.
攞60萬嚟。
買個6，6買神將。
So Quack is in 400,000 euros.
打30，打30你去不去？
去。
你俾我50就咩？60啊嘛。哦。
Really?
Over to Fwa, 10-8 suited. This is a pretty strong hand in short deck. Goes call, call, call.
那个钱丢进去，他拿不到的，还搭桌子坐都不敢。
5 ways to the flop here.
Check.
ST flops bottom set.
Check. 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 Check.
You'd see a lot of players lead out on the flop here with bottom set. Equities just change so fast in this game. No matter what card comes on the turn, if it's a 10 or a jack, then your equity is really, really shot in this hand.
Well, 6 is a safe card for him, so he's going to feel confident betting out pot right now. Paul here of 10-8 of clubs. He can hit a 7, what, a jack or a club. So for him, this is a nice call in position. Ivy's going to fold. Quack here, he's got an inside straight draw looking for a 7. But
Yeah,
actually, that's a 0% chance of winning.
Can't imagine we'll see Quack continue here.
So let's see. He's got 36% equity to take out ST right now in his river card. That is one
It
of
is
them.
the 7 of clubs.
So not only did he hit a straight, but he also hit a flush. So ST is going to check. Now, Paul here has only got 94,000 euros remaining. Knows he needs to bet. Does he want to bet 50K? Does he want to bet all in? Does he want to bet 30K? He probably thinks ST is pretty strong to be betting the turn. So he's going to go for a sizable bet. 44,000. Man, if you're ST here, what do you do for 7 of nines?
I think you got to lay it down. You led into so many
Well,
people.
he's going to call.
Yeah.
See the bad news. Yeah, that's a pretty tough spot. Usually, the thing is, I think a fold seems quite fine, but like, The question is, does Paul occasionally value bet worse because ST checked him? That's what you need to
I would expect all of Paul's value hands on the turn to just move all in over the bet with his stack size.
Okay,
So I think the answer is no.
That's a very good point. Because, yeah, that makes a lot of sense because he didn't have a full stack going into that hand.
So if he had like top 2 pair or bottom set of 6s there, I would
Probably
expect
just
him
jam.
to move all in.
Good, very good point.
ST 多20，有冇大媽？那个多少钱啊？10万咯，那2个10万咯，太多都麻烦。
We get another limp pot here. This is a family bot. 6 ways. And well, ST flops bottom pair and a queen high flush draw. Ivy's got a set of 6s. Elton's betting with one of the weaker hands. Pogorski's calling with one of the worst hands of the players in there. Ivy's just gonna call with bottom set. Like, everyone wants to get involved here. Actually, ST folds the best draw. So now, that was quite interesting. So Elton actually clears out one of the spade draws that would beat him. Pogorski drawing dead. He's actually the one firing. He's got the worst hand. 0% chance to win this pot. 23,000. Ivy can't fold a set of 6s here, can he? No way. So he's just gonna make the call. But if a spade rolls off, Ivy's in trouble.
Yeah, remember in this game, a flush actually beats a full house.
Tough spot for Elton, right? He's gonna lay it down.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty easy fold with a bet and a call in front of you.
Pogorski, he needs a spade to come off in order to bluff Ivy off of this pot, potentially. There is a spade.
That is a spade. From what we've seen from Gabe Pogorski, it's very possible he may bluff this river.
Well, he just checked. And Ivy, he's actually reaching for chips. He's turning his set of 6s into a bluff. And Ivy, what an aggressive play.
Yeah, very interesting bluff there by Ivy. I guess what he's thinking is he doesn't continue on the turn with too many worse hands.
Well, for Ivy to bet there, it has to be really strong because the expectation is that he would check back a hand as good as a set and not turn it into a bluff. Occasionally, Ivy is up against 10-9, so he kind of want to make sure those hands fold.
You can use this.
And so far, Phil Ivy up 163,000 euros.
Some of us might like it.
Paul Fall's got a ruler to help him move the chips around. Oh, you gotta love this guy.
No.
No, just call.
Yeah.
Okay, call.
OK。
你们都带着那个东西来，
你也带来。
我怎么说的？啊？
So 4 ways to this flop. You don't see anywhere near this many multi-way pots in No Limit Hold'em these days.
Ivy's betting here with a pair of jacks and king kicker. Is gonna chip up some more.
Oh, I have an idea.
What?
Here, slant. Bet only go inside. All the dealer can control. Slant, box here, put your bet here. You press on it, the open, automatic.
Then the table could be twice as big, right? We could all be sitting around.
No, they still got to get the cards.
Cool.
Ivy with ace queen. From what we've seen in tournaments, I expect him to call. He does.
I mean, Ivy's playing pretty solid right now, as expected.
Yeah, he did make that really interesting bluff on the river there with pocket sixes.
Yeah, I feel like Ivy's bluffs like always get through. Like they're just very well timed, so they don't happen too frequently. So they get a lot more credit.
In that instance, Ivy actually had the best hand. Here, Ivy flops the nuts straight. Normally we see players lead out when they flop really strong, but on this board, it's very unlikely that a really bad turn card's going to come, so Ivy checks. And in fact, something that's notable is that if the board paired on the turn, then Ivy still shouldn't be concerned if the flop is checked through. In other words, if Ivy checks and somebody happened to have two pair or a set, they would probably bet, and then Ivy could raise. So if Ivy does check and the turn card pairs the board, then Ivy actually still doesn't really have too much to be concerned about, and I think that's why we saw Ivy check the flop.
Well, Ivy's check raising here with his straight,
I think, yeah, maybe we went to sleep at noon.
and Kwok is drawing dead right now. He needs to lay his hand down to avoid losing any more money. I think he just needs to lay this down because the queen makes a different straight out there for him.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see Kwok put money in on that turn.
很多牌不能打了嗰度，你没有 A 圈了嘛？
I think with two flush draws on that board, you'd want to be bluffing with either a flush draw or perhaps with a queen in your hand. Not a hand as weak as 8-9.
Something I want to note is on that hand, Ivy, because he didn't, he went for a check raise because a lot of times two pair will bet this flop, and then you can shut them out of their equity or get them to get it in bad. And also, if he just leads, I'm almost certain two pair would just call the flop lead. So check raising actually seems like the ideal play in that spot. Limping with
赢
kings.
现在要抽，就赢最多那个抽几千块给 dealer。
Yeah, Ivy looking to go for a limp re-raise here. We haven't seen people get too out of line raising behind. We've seen a lot of flops just be multi-way because every player is limped.
Well, he really wanted to see Paul raise the ace-jack. Would have just limp shoved on him. Pogorski's getting a little bit short here. Jack-6 of spades.
5 ways to the flop, and there are so many multi-way pots in this game, and that really favors Phil Ivy, I believe. It seems like Ivy does really well in these multi-way pots, knowing when to take stabs.
What's interesting is that Ivy has 40% chance in this 5-way pot, even though Pogorski has Jack-6 for two pair. That's interesting to me.
Yeah, I think if you narrow out some of the other hands, you're going to see Pogorski's equity get a lot better heads up against Ivy's hand, and in fact, Ivy folds.
Wow, Ivy folds kings.
Instead, I have many out.
That is interesting. Well, he's going to fold the best hand 3 ways right now.
But Paul Flaw and Gabe Pogorski are getting it all in here.
Maybe more. King, queen, you have more. Or diamond.
I'm mucking those cards straight into the muck as I make sure no one sees them.
See? Diamond. And
Earns a
Wow,
queen.
queen.
No jack, no jack.
I don't know about that.
River's a 7.
Oh, the river is a 7. How does Paul Flaw miss that river?
Yeah, he had so many outs.
5,
11.
5, 6, 7, 8,
So Pogorski gonna win 100,000 euros.
11, 12, 13 out.
65
Huh?
How much? How much?
65.
17 out.
17 out. Jesus.
Couldn't even take him to him.
He should have bought insurance.
Yeah, if you're wondering what the equity was on that pot, this is why this game's a lot different than No Limit Hold'em. In No Limit Hold'em, obviously 2-pair has a big advantage over top pair, top kicker in that spot. In this all-in situation, Paul Flaw had about 46% equity, so 2-pair, a very, very vulnerable hand.
46 with 1 card to come
46 on the flop.
on a flop.
On the flop.
You gave me 2, is that what you
On the turn, 7, or what was the turn? A queen of diamonds?
Yep.
On the turn, queen of diamonds, Paul Flaw still had 46% equity.
46% with 1 card to come. Unheard of.
Call.
Alright, so Kwok's gonna
Right,
limp
24.
ST with King Queen. Gonna raise up to 24,000. He only has 104,000 to start the hand. Ivy with pocket queens, he's gonna shove here. His opponents don't have too much. No, he's just calling.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Ivy's just calling here.
Yeah,
His opponents are so short stack relative to the antes.
like I would just blindly get it in.
We also saw Ivy make a play like this in the tournament yesterday where he had pocket queens with about 80 antes on the button and he just called. So it seems like Ivy not really too thrilled to push his equity pre-flop with pocket queens in this game. And look at that flop for ST.
Yeah, he lets ST flop a straight.
All players in this pot flopped a big piece of it, and ST deciding he has a 1-to-1 pot to stack ratio. Does he want to bet? I like that check.
Straight.
No seat for you.
Sneaky. Now Ivy here, he's got to think he's got the best hand.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't have the best hand, he's got a great draw. He's just gonna put a pot-sized bet in there.
A very large bet there by Ivy, and look at Kwok.
He's gonna get Kwok to put it in bad.
And this is just the best scenario possible for ST.
You can go on do at night.
ST's gonna shove all in.
It looks like the graphic might be wrong. It looks like ST's deeper than 80K.
Yeah, he might have rebought in 200,000 euros.
I think he might have 280K. So now back over to Ivy.
200.
Ivy's in a tough spot here. It's 200K to call. He's getting a great price, but a lot of times he's going to be up against King Queen on this board.
平時玩咁樣拍下都幾過癮啦。啊，拍翻嚟大家自己睇翻去。
你睇睇嗱，
睇你點打。
喂唔係贏嗰鋪俾睇。
Ivy's thinking, is it possible my opponent has 7-8? Because if his opponent has 7-8, Phil Ivy's actually 50-50.
Fish 嗱我知嘅我 fish。
Against a hand like Queen 8, though, Ivy's in pretty poor shape. So I imagine we're going to see Ivy fold this here. I mean, he bet, somebody shoved, and then somebody else instantly reshoved. The only hand that you're really hoping to see are maybe 2 sets or 7-8.
Yeah, this is... Looks like he's reaching for chips to side call here.
He is getting a great price.
I mean, all that profit at risk right now
His
if he makes
equity
a
is
call.
not very good, though.
He really doesn't want to call, but he feels like he should based on his hand.
Yeah, I feel like Ivy thinks he has enough equity. This is simply a math spot.
He's pushing him in.
Ivy sighs and makes the call.
Yeah, that's the hand he does not want to see. He shakes his head. Kwok, he's in trouble.
Sure,
There's only one queen left in the deck.
Part of what was going through Ivy's head there was the fact that he did have 2 queens in his hand, so combinatorically that reduces the combinations of King Queen and Queen 8.
别骑队啊，别骑队。
Set is only jacks.
Turn card's a 6.
No help for Phil. He's looking for a king. Kwok looking for the last remaining queen in the deck.
Here comes a river card. It's a jack. And ST is going to triple up.
ST wins a huge one there.
Scoop up.
一个队赢了，一个队。
给我个盒子，
第3个啦。
给我个盒子。
I mean, Ivy's a little bit disappointed because I think he felt like he really wanted to fold. It's like when you really want to fold, but then you make the call and then you see the bad news, you just kind of like feel a bit more deflated than normal.
钱太少了，我先打个。
你先打是吗？
All right, so Kwok gets another 200,000 euros right now.
有400，
什么400？
400起码。
可以切，可以不切。
我赢他这个天数，我们赢他。
这个来不夸张，2个人加起来就1张奥斯，分钱。4张奥斯分钱。
太好了。
啊？
What so short? Why don't you shove 2 foot? I don't think it's a big head. He didn't raise call. What raise? He raised. Oh, ST raise.
I just play 4 million.
Oh, raise call. 你 call 了干嘛？
没有，挑他打，
没开牌啊？
对，没看。
Yeah, I massacred that one.
红蛙的。
All right, actions on ST.
哦，我们小就死啦。
Dealers must love Paul with his back scratcher there.
Well, it's a ruler, right?
I think it's a back scratcher.
No, I think I saw. I swore I saw like the.
Really?
The load.
I thought it was curved.
Okay, I'm gonna look again. So Pogorski with top set checks. Is everyone getting a little bit more tricky?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised to see that.
And he bets out his full house on the turn and just wins that very small pot.
So it's important to note the equity differences in this game. If you have a set on the flop, if you have top set, then even against a straight, you're about 50-50. Against an up and down straight draw, you're about a 2-to-1 favorite.
Hold. 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 Check. Bet 18.
So if you guys are enjoying the stream today, happy that we gave you another high stakes cash game. Tweet at Triton Poker. Let them know you love it so they can keep trying to deliver for you guys. So Pokorski calls ace jack suited. Ivy limps ace king behind him. Doesn't look like he's going to get anyone to raise. No, it might. It was too fast. I wanted to see if it was a back. I think you are right. That's a back scratcher, but also looks like a ruler. Maybe it's a 2-in-1 combo.
Don't think you're going to measure anything with that, Nano.
You can measure how many chips I got, but I guess that's not a good way in this game. All right, so ST with the best hand.
But wait, that's a different one. He had a.
So it is a ruler, right?
16.
He has two different ones.
No, but that's a ruler.
But then he also has a back scratcher at the table.
But that one I'm looking at is a ruler.
Is it the one he's holding or the one on the table?
Yeah, the one he's holding. No?
That one looks flat to me. That one may be a ruler. But that wooden thing on the table.
That wooden thing on the table looks like a paddle. That's the biggest back
What do you
scratcher.
do with a paddle?
Oh, you spank. All right, so Paul Fall shoves all in a 2-pair, and it's gonna win that pot.
Oh.
Watch out! Nobody try to bad beat Paul Foy. He has a paddle.
Pull the set.
8唔會嚟㗎，3-6，單打一個8唔會。厲害！
原來平時咁打嘅。
魚要驚有8，Pro 冇8嘅喎。
That's a huge battle. Look at it.
Hold.
All All right, so king jack of clubs for Ivy. He's gonna limp.
Did you just bluff me?
Fold.
Two pair.
Two pair. Oh.
两个。
I guess correctly, you don't have an 8. But you have to call.
You bluff me?
你给了，你给了。啊，没给，对对对对对对对对对对对。
Possible. I don't get bluffed, man. I call everybody
为什么6个了？
when I have a pair. Didn't have a pair.
3 pairs.
All right, so no one with a piece, but Elton again betting with the worst hand. He got 2 better hands to fold last time. He gets 2 better hands to fold again. Elton's actually really good at stabbing for these little pots. Already up about 260,000 euros. Every single player in for at least 200,000 euros. That is the minimum buy-in. Now, Quacker, pocket kings, he's going to just call. He knows how to lay the trap.
Yeah, we haven't seen too many of these early position limps with premiums be successful.
And no one picks up anything. People don't seem to be too aggressive in position right now.
Check.
So Quack getting out-flopped here. Not liking it.
From what we've seen from the tournaments, I imagine we're going to see Fwa lead this board here.
Gonna fire
That's 16.
over just about the pot.
Fold.
Gabe here, he's not going to fold a6. Calls with top pair. Just suspicious of too many draws. Look at this Quack. He doesn't want to fold his kings.
Yeah, this would be a really, really loose call by Quack. It was kind of a loose call by Gabe.
Nice laydown. Got to lay this one down. Just too likely someone's got an ace, right, when a bet and call. He's going to make the call, though. Pocket kings, very, very loose.
Well, he rechecked his hole cards. He saw he had the backdoor nut flush draw.
That is true. Still has 22%, actually. The turn's a queen. Now, Paul here of ace-9 probably shouldn't feel too good about his hand. Just seems dicey, but he's actually going to shove all in.
Wow,
He's
Paul
correctly
Fwa moving all in for 2x the pot.
Yeah, he figured out that he's got the best hand. And Quack here turns more equity. He's got 21%. He wants to feel committed to this pot. This would be a loose call. Paul here. Wow, this is a very thin play, but he definitely thinks he's got the best hand, otherwise he wouldn't shove.
Yeah, I think Paul Fwa would expect his opponents to come back over the top on the flop if they had 2 pair or a set.
I mean, definitely what we've been seeing. Queen 10, he probably doesn't expect his opponents to have too often. Yeah, this is not a common play.
600，十
Should
几
be an
了。
easy fold here for Quack.
22万5。过2头顺就不刚赔力了。
里边有多少？里边有多少？
里面很少了
40
，3、4、5、
60 40
6。
算了，这么大
是。啊，你过2头顺哪里够？已经
不是已经5岁了吗？
哦，还想播。
All right, so I think Quack lays down his hand correctly, and Paul's gonna win 48,000 euros.
And you guys may be wondering why we're seeing so many multi-way pots here. This game plays a lot differently than does No Limit Hold'em or Pot Limit Omaha. And the reason why is because of the way that the antes and blinds work. It's basically like every single position is in for a small blind, 2,000 euros, and then the button is in for 4,000 euros, kind of like a big blind. And so when you're posting a small blind from every single position, you're actually getting a really, really good price to call and to enter the pot that way. That's why we're seeing it go multi-way so often here. And the other reason is because equities just run so close in this hand. Even if you have the worst hand in the game, Jack-6 offsuit, you still have decent equity against some strong hands in this game.
Put it up in there. Let's watch all the plays. It's better. It's more fun.
Yeah, we can
It's
talk
more fun when we can see that when someone got bluffed or whatever.
needle each other.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's way more fun.
Much better, yeah. No doubt.
Yes.
So I think they're gonna try to get the live stream up there.
能不能也放在这里啊？我这个背后看不见的。
你不用看啊，你这么厉害。
So that everyone knows the whole cards.
It is kind of fun. But you already know, like, within half an hour?
Phil Ivey advocated for that in the last cash game also. I think that Phil Ivey pays more attention to it, and he really likes to learn from his opponents from watching the live stream and make adjustments. I feel like Ivey thinks that seeing everybody's whole cards every hand gives him the bigger edge.
That's one of his TV
这
also.
是直播的啊。慢慢
OK OK.
啊，那 ECK
30分鐘都咩？大家都知道，大家咩牌都
You can pick one.
OK 嘅。
Nah, son.
I'm pretty sure I had a flush.
可以放，
I want
可
to
以
see what
放，
everyone else.
放好。
Phil Ivey takes that one down. He's back up to about 145K, still down about 55,000 euros in this game. I think Phil Ivey prefers playing a shorter stack in these cash games. When he was playing the cash game, the No Limit Hold'em cash game, he didn't rebuy when he was down to about 150, 200,000 euros.
When behind, 4 million can take off.
Yeah.
I 400,000 can take off.
Got them all. Stupid. Phil, you're so stupid, Phil.
Ah, you have that thing.
So stupid. Realize it now.
Alright, so Paul here of pocket queens, the current best hand. But it's gonna be a limp pot. See a flop? Wow, he flops a boat. Ivey though has ace-9. And he's gonna check. Ivey's got a full house.
Wow.
Paul's got a full
Disaster
house.
card for Paul Foy.
Yeah, there's zero chance that Ivey doesn't double up against Paul Foy. They only have 120,000. So Paul's gonna bet 16,000. Ivey's just gonna call here. Yeah, this is as bad as it gets. River's a 7. That's also a bad card. I mean, it's a safe card for Paul, because usually players don't play a7. But just to point out, a flush does beat a full house in this game, so he might be slightly worried that Ivey has a flush draw. Given the way the hand is played, it is reasonable. Maybe like a 10-jack of hearts. This seems pretty likely. King-jack of hearts, king-10 of hearts.
Paul Foy trying to figure out if his hand has enough value to bet here. He thinks he may get called by trip aces, but he thinks it through. He checks.
And he's just going to call this bet, I think. I don't think he should be raising.
Yeah, he actually isn't even pleased with the bet.
Yeah, he's actually thinking about folding because he seems a little bit upset about the river bet.
It was a good hand a little while ago.
Overpair.
The overpair, I thought it was good.
What can you have?
Wasn't bad, it was now.
No straight draw.
I thought he had 2 jacks. I'm just brain freeze. I thought he could have 2.
Yeah, then you got such a good price. He's who he is. He's ST. I didn't see flopping enough.
哪个里面？
This would be a sick fold of full house pocket queens.
I don't know if he always raises king.
Is he going to lay it down? He flashed the queens.
Obvious what I have. Come on, you know that.
啊，另外翻，等等，
What?
为点？
Ace queen.
Sick that Foy's even thinking about this. It seems like it would be a snap call here.
Maybe he just knows Ivey wouldn't peel 10-jack. Like just a straight draw here. So this would be a
You can rule that out.
very nice read.
You play
You
7.
can rule ace 9 out, ace 7, anything bad. I'm not playing anymore. I decided to change my whole style.
Cut him out.
Only 10 jack of
Too hard to
hearts.
hit a flush. Yeah.
King 10 of hearts.
Ivy's nose just grew 3 inches.
Queen, Queen also there.
看不清啊，这
No blocker.
He folds.
Wow, what a fold by Paul Foy.
What can you beat? Tell me.
Fantastic fold there.
I'm so confident he has flush.
He was just telling me
I did
how
not have a flush.
You cannot fold that.
You'll see. Second. Why would I lie to you?
Shit.
Oh, he's not lying about not having a flush. He
He
was
did lie
lying
earlier.
about not playing ace-9, ace-7.
that's a big fold.
What a fantastic fold there.
Yeah, Elton's saying you can't fold that hand, but it was the
Raise
correct
you on the
fold.
turn.
Paul Foy is just
Maybe ace
really
nine.
impressive. His intuition in certain spots.
Don't need it to.
Of course I had ace-9. Of course a heart. Of course you got to save money.
He laid it down.
Ivy a little bit salty about that result.
Then what can you have? No, cannot be straight draw.
Yeah, I think he knows Ivy's game so well that he wouldn't actually peel 10 jack without a heart.
Nope. You said I don't play it.
过头。
That's what
So-
he's pointing out.
So would Ivy bluff the river, though, with a hand like ace-6, if that's the worst hand that he's peeling on the turn?
Forget about these
He
flushes.
probably expects Ivy to check it back.
Huh?
Expectation. Would he actually? I don't know.
I'm
Well,
just
we
gonna-
saw Ivy bluff the river with a set already, so we know that Ivy's capable of turning strong hands into bluffs.
I can't believe I still
Alright, so
forget
every
about
time
these
Elton's bet
flushes. Weird.
10,000, he's won the spot.
Same number of queens.
And he's going to get quacked with ST with King 6. He's going to lay down the best hand. Can he get Paul to lay down the best hand? Every time he's bet 10,000, he's won the pot with the worst hand.
當年7個
No, he can't get Paul Foy to fold jacks.
Yeah, I think I probably would have folded jacks there. It seems like it's a really dicey spot to continue.
Yeah, it was actually a nice read on Elton, but didn't shake the jacks. Elton's betting again, though. Now just has to shake the jacks. You gotta respect the way Elton bluffs. He just seems to always know where his opponents are at.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see Foy call flop fold turn with a hand like jacks. I think if his read on the flop was that Elton's bluffing, you'd expect him to continue to call. It's just such a dicey hand to move forward in the hand with.
Yeah, maybe he thinks Elton will stab once and give up, but the thing is, like, Elton has one-upped him by, like, betting again. It's a very nice play.
So we're gonna see you had ace-9.
Yeah, why would I lie? It's coming up in a second. I'm not.
I do that all the time.
Well, you do. I mean, if it's, come up,
On Twitch.
if it's gonna come up in 20 minutes, I don't see no
I'm like,
playing.
oh, I had kings, and then it comes up, I had 10-7 or something like that.
Gabe really tries
Yes,
to
sir.
play up
Tail
his
well.
loose image at the table.
Check out. Check. Yeah.
Yeah, that is definitely a ruler.
Clock called him boss earlier. I don't want to lie to him. I don't know. Pick and choose who to lie to.
Right. You can bluff me all day in the chat. Check.
So another family pot. Ivy is the one betting with Queen Jack. He's got the best flush draw. Quack is coming along with 7-6. So he's looking for a 9 or a 6 of spades. Well, he's got the 6 of spades, but his spade is blocked. Seems like a loose call here. Elton calls with ace queen.
Sorry?
Turns a king. Doesn't improve any player. Just gives players more straight draws. Over to Quack. He's got the worst hand and he checks. There's a queen, so no one has a 10. If someone stabs here, they should win this pot. It is three-way. Is Quack gonna take a stand here? Oh, he's gonna go for it. This is gonna work a lot, right? 40,000.
Wow, he does bet 40,000 on this river here.
I mean, the way the hand is played, Quack actually looks like he's got a hand like ace 10 and jack 10 a lot. Elton trying to think of some bluffs.
I think if I were Elton, I'd lay this down here.
And Elton's got sick intuition. He's going to fold it.
Wow, he does let it go.
Now Ivy gets a better hand is folded, and Ivy's going to lay down the best hand too.
What a nice bluff there by Kwok.
He should show one of those cards. The 7 of hearts. That would be a funny card to show. But they're going to see it in, what, half an hour anyways. So those purples are 1,000 euros. The red plaques are 10,000 euros. The gray plaques, 100,000 euros right now.
所有牌各种，
不告诉你，
我等一下就看到了，
等一下看到再说。
阿伦直接
看到再说。
You can read on bad days. Well, maybe it picks up a little bit if we play some big pots.
I mean, if you win some big pots.
I'd rather lose than not play at all. You know? You ever get that?
Oh no, that's deep. That's too deep for me.
Raise 24.
Wow, and the limp by ST is going to work out here. Elton raising up his dealer button with King Queen.
All right, so ST with pocket aces. It's got a limp raise.
Yeah, we're going to see him raise here. I wonder if we're going to see him just shove.
No, I think he's going to go for like 120,000.
120,000, that's a little bit on the smaller side. Generally, you see larger sizings in this game because equities run closer.
I think Elton's going to lay this king-queen down. He probably thinks ST is a little bit of a tighter player.
Well, first Paul Floyd has to let go of his
Okay,
queen 9.
come on. Paul's not playing queen 9. But no, that's the trick, right?
Yeah,
Everyone's got this trick all in play.
I think he is going to let it go here. Your equity doesn't run very well hot and cold against a limp re-raise range of ace-king, aces-kings. Those are probably the only hands in ST's limp re-raise range. So guys, we're working on the table audio here. It'll be coming back soon. Phil Ivey calls under the gun with ace king of hearts. Phil Ivey in short deck poker doesn't really seem to have a raise range in early position. He limps a lot of mediocre hands, he limps some weaker hands, and then he also limps his premiums. Check through on the flop. Did Ivy take a stab here? Looks like Ivy took a stab with just ace-king and he takes it down. That's a pretty aggressive stab. You don't really have any draws on that board, but he just sensed weakness with his opponents checking back on the flop. Bets the turn and Ivy takes down a pot. So if you are just joining us, we are live at the Mistral Resort and Casino. It is the end of the Triton Super High Roller Series Montenegro 2018, and these players are playing high stakes cash. This is a 2K, 4K game. So as you can see, every player is anteing for 2K, and that's 2K euros. That's even more than dollars. And the button is in for 4K euros. The minimum buy-in in this game, 200,000 euros. And you're watching Short Deck. Short Deck has become a popular game in the Asian poker circuit, also here in Europe. The rules of short deck: you get a 52 card deck, you throw out all the deuces, threes, fours, and fives, so you're just down to 36 cards. And then you play an ace, counts as a 5 on the wheel end of the straight. And also, it's important to remember, a flush beats a full house in this game. Flush is actually more difficult to make in short deck than as a full house. So the chip values here, the purple chips are 1,000 euros per chip. The red plaques are 10,000 euros. And then you'll see some gray plaques as well. A lot of players have them on the bottom of their red plaques. Those are worth 100,000 euros. Elton here with Queen Jack raising it up. We've seen a lot of players limp hands like this, but Elton tends to be a little bit more of an aggressive player. Gabe calls Ivy. Moving all in here. Let's see what he has. Ace King, a standard all in here for Phil Ivy. But now Elton is going to be getting a good price here to call. I imagine we're going to see Elton call here, especially since he doesn't need to be worried about Gabe Pogorski behind. Gabe is pretty short. Elton is getting a little bit shy of 2-1 here, so he needs about 36% equity to make this call. Against Ace King, Elton's hand has 46% equity. He does make the call. Pogorski goes with his hand as well. Ivy with about a 40% chance. He's 41% to win this pot. Here comes a flop 6-6 ace, and there's not really a better flop than that for Phil Ivy. He's 93%. Turn card brings a 10 though. River card, it looks like it's a queen, so Phil Ivy will take down this pot here. Phil Ivy up to 368,000 euros. These players all throughout the tournament series have been playing high-stakes cash games on the side. You guys have been asking us to show you some high-stakes cash games. Your wish is our command. We're bringing you this short deck high-stakes cash game here with Phil Ivy, Gabe Pogorski, Elton, Paul Foy, a lot of recognizable names at this table. Some of the best short deck players in the Asian and European circuit here. If you missed the earlier broadcasts here from Montenegro, you missed 4 really remarkable tournaments. The first one was a 250K Hong Kong dollar buy-in short deck event. Phil Ivy actually won that tournament for about 6 million Hong Kong dollars. The second one was a 6-max no-limit hold'em tournament. Richard Yong, one of the people who runs the Triton series, he won that event. Richard Yong actually has the most career cashes of any Malaysian player. And then the third event was a $1 million Hong Kong dollar buy-in no-limit hold'em main event. That was won by none other than Mikita Badziakowski. He's known online as Fish 2013. He's one of the best online poker players. And then finally, the final event was huge. It got 103 entrants. And the winner of that was Jason Kuhn. First place in that, a cool 3.6 million USD. So just to let you guys know, these players have decided that because of the crazy variance and swings in this game, as stacks get deeper, if you get over 400k, you're actually allowed to go south for that amount of money. But you're not allowed to go south for more than 400k. So in other words, let's say you have 300k in front of you, you triple up to 900k, you're allowed to take 500k and put it on the side and sit 400k deep. Short deck poker is a game that has been gaining more and more in popularity. A lot of people are saying it's the new pot limit Omaha. A lot of gambling in this game. Equities run very close. Also, you get to play a lot of hands. That's one of the things that players like about this game. They think that no limit hold'em cash games tend to be a little bit boring, especially if they don't have an ante. Correct play is just to play so tight and solid, and as you can see here, we got 6 players going to the flop. We got a family pot. Bottom set for Elton. In no limit hold'em, you'd often see Elton check this hand, simply because it's unlikely that his opponents are going to catch up on future streets. There are a lot of 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, a lot of blanks that can come. In this game, there are basically no blanks. You're not going to like any turn card unless it pairs the board. So he leads out. Pogorski calls. We've been seeing players call leads into multiple players with strong top pair type of hands. I'm not in love with it. I would have preferred to see Pogorski fold here. When under the gun leads into that many players, it's just very, very likely he has a hand like 2 pair or a set. But Pogorski still does have good equity against 2 pair, so maybe that's why he called the flop. ST called the flop as well. He had an up and down straight draw. Up and down straight draws have pretty good equity here. Against a set, if you get it all in on the flop with an up and down straight draw, you have about 33% equity. Against top 2 pair, you're flipping. So Elton continuing to bet large here on the turn, trying to charge his opponent. Something else that's interesting about this game that's different than No Limit Hold'em, it's pretty unlikely that Elton does not have a made hand in this spot. In No Limit Hold'em, you may see your opponent fire multiple barrels with more air. It's possible Elton has a hand like Queen 10, but other than that, I don't think it's likely that Elton is bluffing here. And so when you choose to peel with ST's type of hand, you can't expect to win on a bluff on too many rivers compared to No Limit Hold'em. So the river's a king. That's an interesting card for Elton and ST because it actually looks like ST could easily have Queen 10. If I were Elton for that reason, I'd be checking. Not sure what Elton is looking to get value here from. He led into so many players on the flop, and then he fired into 2 players on the turn. He does bet, and his opponent folds. I would have liked to see Elton check that river and induce a bluff out of his opponent. So we see a limp here over to Paul Foy with ace-10 suited. We've seen most players just limp this hand. That's what Foy does. We got 4 players going to the flop. Ace-Queen 9. top pair here for Foix. In No Limit Hold'em, you might see somebody check a hand like Ace-10 here, simply because you're not going to go for 3 streets of value. There are a lot of blanks that come on the turn. In this game, not many blanks come on the turn, so you generally see people play very, very fast with their top pair type hands. Here's Ivy with bottom pair, thinking about it. He lets it go. Paul Foix takes it down, and when you do bet the flop there with Ace-10, you're not hoping to get action. You're hoping to bet and take it. Ivy with 10-8 of diamonds under the gun. I imagine we'll see him limp. ST just limping with pocket aces. This is a common play in this game. I think in late position you'd see players raise this up more. In middle position, you're oftentimes trying to go for the limp re-raise. It doesn't work out for him though, as it goes limped and checked around. And when you do limp here with pocket aces, you're going to be looking to lead on a lot of different board textures, but this isn't one of them. Checks around, so now there are 2 flush draws. A 10 makes a straight. Lots of family pots, lots of limping in short deck. The reason why is because of the ante structure. It's basically like every single player at the table posts a small blind, and then the button posts a big blind. And as a result of that, you're getting a really good price to enter the pot. It's a lot different than in No Limit Hold'em, where there are only 2 positions that put in blinds pre-flop. So if you've been watching the Triton Super High Roller Series coverage earlier, you've seen Phil Ivey, you've seen Paul Foix, you've seen Gabe Pogorski. Ivey actually won the opening event, which was a short deck event, and then he came in 3rd in the biggest event of the series, the 4th event of the series, the 4th and final event, which was a million Hong Kong dollar buy-in event. Ivey took home about 9.2 million Hong Kong dollars for his efforts in that event. For winning event number 1, he took home 6 million Hong Kong dollars, and here he is raising up his button. It's interesting, we didn't see a lot of this from Ivey in the tournaments. Normally, Ivey would choose to take his equity on the button with hands like King-Jack suited, but a well-timed raise there by Ivey, and he actually takes down a nice pot. Blinds and antes really add up in this game. So something that you want to think about when it's on your button and it's limped to you in short deck, because that actually happens quite a bit, is who are the opponents who limped in early position. If they're tighter players, you don't want to raise up too wide there. And the reason why is because their ranges are really going to be weighted towards premiums that they're looking to limp re-raise. But if they're players who kind of enter a bunch of pots, then you want to raise it up. And the final consideration, this is a really important one, is have I seen these players raise from early position? And if you have, and they limped in this pot, then you may really want to raise because it makes it pretty unlikely that they're going for the limp re-raise. And for that reason, to stay balanced, you see a lot of the top players like Ivey just only have a limping range in early position. So here, Gabe Pogorski goes all in with Ace-Jack of Hearts. Paul Foix now Needs to invest 150,000 euros to call. He's not getting a very, very good price. I think we'll see it go fold here. Paul wants to see the price he's getting here. Does go fold. Pogorski takes it down. Pogorski is seen as one of the more loose, aggressive players in this game. He kind of takes pride in that image. Pogorski took 3rd place in the opening event, the one that Phil Ivey won. If you're wondering who took 2nd place, it was Daniel Jungleman Cates. Jungleman is considered one of the strongest, if not the strongest, short deck, no limit hold'em player. As you can see here, as we were talking about, Ivey just limping here with the pocket aces. It's a little bit of a different spot because he had limps in front of him. But he did choose to limp, and it's going to work out for Ivey because ST is raising up his button with Jack-10. And now there's action from Paul Foy, who calls. This is just an amazing spot for Phil Ivey. Now with the price that Pogorski's getting, he might call as well. No, Pogorski does think better of it, and he lets it go. Back over to Ivey. He's not going to just be calling. He's coming back over the top, all in. Ivey's all in. Kwok's going to get away. ST gets away. And now Paul Foy.
33%, almost enough.
Got the audio back here.
Oh, that's nice.
He's not happy with this spot.
2 to 1. Hey, 9. It's like more than
12, yeah.
I only need 33%. Okay.
Paul Foy makes the call. He was getting a very, very good price to call. He doesn't want to be up against ace-ace, though.
I'm dead.
You're dead?
12?
Ivey joking around saying he's dead. King 10 suited actually has a 30% chance to win here against pocket aces.
Here it is. Ready for it.
It'll come like ace, queen, jack or something.
Duh.
And then blank, blank.
Oh, yeah,
You know how it is.
wrongly.
Okay, so what happens now? Get it back? You're the boss. You get it back? What happens? You get it back?
Oh, he meant to fold. He meant to fold.
Oh, he calculated wrong.
Here's a flop, King, Queen, 6. Foy still with about 30%. Turn card is an 8. No help for Paul. He's going to need to see a king or a 10 on the river to win this pot against Phil Ivey. River card is an 8. That is a safe card for Phil, and Phil continuing to add to his chip stack here in this cash game. Phil Ivey doing well in this cash game here. He's been playing a lot of short deck, and we may be seeing Paul Foy make an early exit.
Sorry, no.
You know I could have had.
Table audio is back here.
少了一个
Jack 10.
那个之前有个281啊，281，你们这个账太烂了。
All right.
输了1个2个了。
Right.
大伯哥，输了1个2个。
He's playing.
You good?
Hi, welcome.
You play that way? You sticking with Jack 10?
Why not?
I don't know.
What's the difference?
I thought you just set me up. You set me up.
Do it.
Me to stack off the jacks for like 5 million.
If you get stuck, you just start shoving.
That's why this game's awesome. Cause like
Being told that Alan
hard to get
Sass is
unstuck.
first up on the wait list. You've been tuning in. You've seen
Call.
Sass. He made a deep run in the opening event.
Fold. Call.
大伯哥输1个底啊。
Call. Call.
1
Option.
个底啊。要不要腾讯打？
Raise. 34.
我给你打，我给你打。我给你打吗？啊？我给你打。
Fold.
你打吗
？Fold.
200万。
Elton raising up his button this time with a real hand. And actually, the new player who came to the table is Shanghai Wang. Shanghai Wang is a very aggressive poker player. He was playing in the last cash game that we streamed a couple days ago. That was regular no limit hold'em. By the time I took my seat in that game, Shanghai Wang was already off the table.
不是，普通的烟，谁有了？我不抽烟的。哎，拿包烟。几个人跟过啊？对，全部跟过啊。
Hey, can you move the TV over a little more?
我跟了，我跟了。
unplugged.
Call.
Shanghai Wang makes a pretty loose call here against the pocket queens of Elton.
可以帮我连个 WiFi 好吗？等一下，
Check.
可以帮我连个那个 Triton 的那个 WiFi。等我进去以后给你用。
Bet. 40,000.
And this is why limp calling with the King 10 is difficult. Even when you flop a pair here on the 10 Jack Jack board, it's a really dicey spot.
Call.
So he does check call middle pair, or 2 pair.
Check.
Now if you're Elton here, pocket queens, is he going to shove all in here? Thinks there's just too much in the middle? Or is he going to be a little bit worried that his opponent will only call him with a jack here? A little bit tricky, right?
Yeah, it is a tricky spot. There are 3 hearts on the board. Elton doesn't have any. I think we're going to see him shove here simply to protect his equity against straight draws.
But he would love to have at least a queen of hearts just in case he's behind. He is going to shove.
Bet.
Put Shanghai Wang all in with King 10. So
300.
he's committed a lot of chips in his pot, so he's feeling a little bit committed. 126,000 remaining.
What什么？什么嘴巴？
手机。
不是，我的牌都不在上面，怎么好？
掉出来。
Hell is this?
All right, so Shanghai Wang, King 10.
Not like king queen.
I mean, he doesn't even have a flush draw, because he could be drawing very slim here. He's only got 18%.
Yeah, he's basically asking himself, does his opponent have a hand like ace king, ace queen?
He makes the call.
He does make the call. He only has 18% equity. And in Shanghai Wang's first hand, he's all in.
I mean, I can see he thinks his opponent might have an ace, king, ace, queen. Very reasonable, and they probably would shove with like a single heart in the hand. So he's got 18% chance to catch up here.
The TV has 7 high above you.
Brewer's an 8, so Shanghai Wong's going to lose that pawn. Elton, he's up 412,000 euros now.
That's a sweet hand he just played.
Yeah, Elton doing better today than he did in the last cash game. He's hoping to recoup his losses.
He's recouped most of it already.
哎呀，差点抓你，他在我后面。
Okay.
So Shanghai Wong probably
nice call.
reloading for another 200,000 shortly.
Shanghai Wong first hand. Welcome to the table.
刚刚第一把，你上第一把不打了，你扔掉了。
That's 200,000 euros back in, looking to double up and break even.
我连那个 Triton 没有。我有啊，啊不是，我手机就是连这个。你问一下那个苏珊娜或谁啊，他们有。对，Triton VIP。
Kwok with the ace queen. Are we going to see him raise him up or just limp here? He does limp.
Price 24.
Number 2.
Call. Fold.
Did you ever
All in.
get chips? No. Ask him if you ever got any chips.
Alright, so Kwok is all of ace queen and Shanghai Wong all in.
Always
This
little
is the second hand he's played, right? He's all in again.
Shanghai Wong is a lot of action.
I love this guy. He's one of my favorite players to watch. So ace queen against jack 10. This is actually a good situation. Jack 10 not being up against an overpair.
Yeah, against the ace queen suited, the jack 10 of Shanghai Wong has 46% equity all in pre-flop.
Yeah, almost a flip. It's like having ace king against queens. And he flops a pair of 10s. Turn card's an ace, so Shanghai Wong needs a 10 or a jack. 18% chance now. River card's a 6, so Shanghai Wong 2 hands.
沙巴哥，你算我那个差不多输了，所以让给他的。
那个位置刚好，都选上海王。
Shanghai Wong, 2 hands and 2 all-ins. No luck for him here so far.
And he's got a little bit remaining.
1.7. 5, 6. 1.7.
And Kwok's gonna win some much needed chips here.
Thank you.
可能这些都老赢了。
Wong in for 200K more. Randy, what do you think the odds are we see Wong get it all in this next hand?
I mean, it's pretty high as long as it looks like a playable hand, but every hand looks playable in this game.
哦，我现在不用了，我现在能看到，你帮我放在那里。给我那个，哎，给谁？那给我吧。没，他走了。
Fold.
Alright, so ST is going to call Jack 9 of diamonds. Shanghai Wong, he's raising the very next hand. The third hand he's playing, he's got ace king. He's raising to 30K. Yeah, Pogorski's going to call with, let's see, Elton folded 6s. Pogorski calls with queen 10. Ivy folds ace jack. So Shanghai Wong looking to win some chips back.
Yeah, a lot of players may go for a limp re-raise in this hand. After losing 2 back-to-back big pots, Wong's saying, you know what, I'm just raising it up with the ace-king.
Yeah, I like this play. People are giving him action with queen 10 and stuff, so he's been out-flopped.
Yeah, now with ace-king here.
Check.
You
gotta check fold, right?
Yeah, you just gotta check fold.
I mean, you do have backdoor...
I mean, Pogorski's
club.
betting 100K.
That's
basically
a
saying,
huge bet.
Yeah, basically saying he's committed to this pot.
Yeah, I mean, it's effectively a shove.
I mean, it's a nice read that he's got the best hand here.
Shanghai Wong lets it go.
So Shanghai Wong has been Not doing so well in his first 3 hands he's played.
Randy, only in short deck can you sit down and in 3 hands lose every hand, be down over 2 buy-ins.
Yeah.
It's crazy the amount of action in this game.
They say the variance in this game is huge. You can easily swing like 10 buy-ins within 1 session alone.
Yeah, it's notable that these buy-ins are actually pretty short. 200K with a 4K big blind. It kind of plays like 35 big blinds and no limit hold'em.
Call.
Hold him.
You busted my buddy Paul. Oh, he busted himself.
3 players.
I don't know, it's confusing.
He was saying he was getting 2 to 1, but he wasn't. And then he tried to take
I
it
don't know
back.
what's right.
He didn't realize he had that much time.
He was
Hello,
staring
Mr.
at
Block.
it. Huh?
Check.
Did he get 2 to 1?
No, it
You
was,
guys, I just gotta guess.
there was a lot of chips behind.
All right, so Pogorski and Elton have a straight. Kwok's got a draw.
Players are talking about that loose call made by Paul Wall. It sounds
luck.
like maybe he didn't realize he had
Catch me
as
if you
much
can.
behind as he did.
How's that?
Gave you never heard.
How about I give you 500 euro now? Down. It's a down payment.
You never believe.
And then
Check.
I can work it down. Every time I see you, I give you 500.
Well,
You want it? You want it, yes or no?
nope.
40,000.
You're gonna have to stiff me for the whole thing, buddy.
All right, so Pogorski trying to push Elton off of a chop.
Elton, I made this bet with Phil. I took the whole field against La La Land to win the Oscar last year. And I was actually at the Oscars when the guy announced the winner is La La Land. I'm like, damn, I gotta pay Phil. I laid him 10,000 to his 5,000. At that point, what are the odds of me winning my bet? It's gotta be like $1 billion.
I think you laid 3
Anyways,
to 1.
They announced the.
This is
the
a voice of
winner.
JRB.
So Phil Ivey got slow rolled.
I was on Moonlight too.
I have a much bigger bet on that.
I had the whole field, and then the guy said, no, it's not La La Land. They misannounced the winner. It's just like the
No
Miss
big
America
deal.
thing.
It's not a sweat.
That was the best comeback ever.
That was $1 billion to 1 to win. From after they announced the winner, I'm $1 billion to 1 to lose.
$1 billion to 1. He's $1 billion to 1.
Maybe 10 million to 1.
Maybe
Call.
Yeah, higher. Because they lost, and then but it didn't.
higher.
So anyways, I'm feeling about 5,000 light right now, Phil.
All right.
Ship. It's not going
I
this
don't
way.
have it. Jesus, you embarrass me on TV?
5
I
players.
don't have it. I have like €1,000 in my pocket. Jesus. All right, you happy now?
We can
Check.
chip away.
Check.
Mission accomplished.
Check.
Broke living, so I Ivy for some money. What are the chances
How
of
bad
that?
are you doing?
What are the chances of that?
Check.
It's new
Come
world.
here and dumb me for 5,000
Check.
on TV.
Check.
Good luck,
Bet
guys.
10,000.
Yeah, I get that right to you, bro.
Sounds like Ivy's in no rush to get it right to him.
That's a pretty funny story, actually.
Just mine?
But I don't understand the story. Didn't JRB end up winning or losing the bet? Or he
No.
thought he had lost, and
Because,
then there was a reversal, right?
Yeah, because La La Land actually didn't win. I think
Did
it was
you watch that
Moonlight
one?
that won, right? I believe.
Oscars that Jerry was talking about.
What a troll, you know?
I was like, yes.
Hey, money comes.
Yeah, no, that's some good Oscars trivia.
Yeah.
I know.
You
I would
movie-
have picked La La Land too.
You a movie buff?
As soon as the other one got called up, he started.
I watch a lot of movies. I don't know, like,
And then 30 seconds later.
I'm pretty good at it, but then I'm also, depending on the type of films,
It's
I
like
don't know
3 or
too
4
much
to
as
1.
well.
The reason my buddy told me to bet on it, and I got action, and I was gonna split it with him, and then he changed his mind. And stuck with his bet that I didn't see any of the movies. I didn't know anything about it.
So, gentlemen, a new deal coming in. Thank you very much.
Also, the Patriots and that movie. That's like the 2 biggest comebacks. of
Yeah, the
entire
Patriots, I
life.
had Atlanta, of course. How'd I do there? That was a nice one. That was a beauty.
You deserve the pain, man.
Did you watch the Super Bowl this year, Elton? Not this year, last year. Atlanta was like 300 to 1 or something. What do you think the price was?
No, it couldn't have been that bad. Because Brady's just, you know.
I mean, they had a kneel.
They
If you kneel,
yeah,
they
but
won.
they, you know.
Kick the field goal. Because of the kneel.
And you bet on the guys who could have kneeled and won.
They could have kneeled and won. All I had to do was take a knee.
Yeah, but you know Brady just got tricks.
That's true.
They're talking about the Super Bowl from 2 years ago, an amazing comeback by the New England Patriots
Like
over the Falcons.
Just work it out, you know.
I'd like to remind everybody, though, that the Patriots lost the Super Bowl last year. We all know to who, the Philadelphia Eagles.
All right, so Shanghai Wong's back in action on hand number like 6 for him. Ace Queen, gonna pick up some chips. So Kwok's got 373,000 now. Recuperated pretty well. Shanghai Wong, ace 10. He's going to raise into Elton's button. 27,000. But Queen 9 is just not a good hand to defend with.
One good.
Shanghai Wong finally wins a pot here.
This is a 200,000 euro minimum buy-in. Some players have already reloaded a few times, so Shanghai Wong down 371,000 now. But he can easily be up like 30 minutes later.
Yeah, down 371,000 in about what, Randy? 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah, he's played like, I don't even think he's played 10 hands yet and dealt.
Yeah, Jack 10.
All right, so Ivy limps and Kwok here, ace king. He's going to raise. People playing a mixed strategy of limping and raising ace king in early position. 44,000. Shanghai Wong, he wants to play his hand, but his price is pretty expensive, so he's actually going to fold.
Really interesting. We've seen Kwok raise up strong hands from early position a couple times now, and a little while ago, Kwok limped under the gun and went limp. It was over to Phil Ivy's button, and he had King Jack suited. This is a hand that, Randy, we've seen him check back in tournament play earlier. And he actually raised it up, and I think it's because he's developing a read on Kwok here, where Kwok is going to fast play some of his stronger hands from early position.
Sure.
So Ivy thought he would get it through a lot of times there.
Yeah, we'll see. I do expect the players to adapt over time, especially with the screen showing the players' hands in front of them. So they're going to know that the players are kind of like playing back at them and stuff. So it kind of changes the dynamic.
Yeah, and Ivy was very insistent they put it up on the screen. I think Ivy looking to benefit from that information more than the other players at the table who may not even be paying as much attention to it.
Yeah, I don't even think Shanghai Wong is even looking at the screen. He's just trying to play some cards right now.
I actually did see Shanghai Wong after a tournament one day really reviewing the stream from earlier and watching the rerun of it and really going over. So Shanghai Wong does think deeply about the game. He's a very aggressive player. He tries to win a lot of pots.
I did see that, but the funniest thing was that he was watching with a bunch of like his friends or people around him, and then he knew he was going to suck out in the river. He just celebrated while he was watching the replay. Yeah, I'm not sure if it was set up for that, but it was pretty funny. He was like fist pumping. A replay of him winning the hand, just a reminder, like, yeah, I got him.
played any of the cash games with Jack 6 yet?
No, not yet.
Makes the game.
But I understand it.
It's a pretty sick game.
I think I understand it pretty well. I play games like that with problems and stuff like that all the time.
Right, but this one, like, it happens a lot. You get Jack 6 play more than, like, 7 deuce or whatever.
Yeah.
Everyone's going for it.
No, you just limp it. I know that. Oh.
All right, so Shang
Not difficult to
ST
figure out.
calls.
Yeah, I think
Or
it
do you
is.
call ST? I think I saw Shanghai Wong come along with Jack 8. Ace 10 seems a little bit tight fold from under the gun, but he did it.
Good pairs.
Have you leaked that?
Go that back.
So Ivy flops best, but Shanghai Wong with the worst hand is the one betting 10,000. Ivy folds the best hand, and Kwok's gonna fold the other best hand. Shanghai Wong, these little bets are taking it down.
Do you prefer play short deck or normal holder?
Short deck, because you play more hand. I mean,
You mean for TV show or just for normal?
I think for TV this might be better too. I'm not sure. I think so because you get to play, you get to see more hands up, some more action.
Multi-way.
You know what I mean? It's a lot of all ins.
Yeah, not
you know?
as boring.
It's like sounds boring. I mean,
All right, so we're gonna have a multi-way limp pot coming up.
I mean, if you just had to win, the long deck is better, right? I mean, much better. But like,
Yeah, I agree.
if,
All right, so ST is looking for a 7. Does not, but King, Queen, trip queens for Ivy. Shanghai Wong and Elton with some straight draws. Kwok with top pair aces. In a 5-way pot. Shouldn't like his hand too much. I'd like to see him lay his hand down, but he might want to, might consider, he's gonna lay it down. So nice fold. Now Ivy's gonna pick up that little pot.
Oh, can I order some food too? Menu? Yeah, thanks. Go. Ah. You have like Chinese menu? 甜甜，甜甜，这个也行。
All right, so Kwok's gonna steal, go for a steal, and it's gonna make it work.
Can I have a number 18? Sure. And a fresh orange juice? Thank you. Yeah, okay.
1207. It's weird they need that so much.
All right, so Kwok's got pocket 8s. Everyone's been limping to pocket pairs, trying to see flops.
Nice. 24.
And Elton's gonna raise with ace-8 offsuit on the dealer button. And it's not gonna shake Kwok, but Kwok, there's only 1-8 remaining in the deck for him to hit a set. Otherwise, usually the little pairs lose his pop, but 999 is a good flop for him. Elton needs an ace or a 9. Check, check. And Kwok checks again. Now Elton's gonna fire 24,000. Not going to shake Kwok's pocket eights. Needs to dodge an ace or a 9. River is a 6, so Kwok plays. Kwok's got a full house, but Elton plays the board. He's going to check. There's 104,000 euros in there. Elton. He's going to check it back and lose to pocket eights here. So very rarely do we see a pocket pair win to pop post flop without flopping a set, but this was one of those spots.
有银牌了，不投了。如果发个7这一类的牌，你肯定还要。
We are live on a 30-minute delay
发个7就好了。
from Montenegro right now.
投了。
对。
Hold.
哎。
Hold. Hold. Nice. 24. Hold. There.
Three ways to the flop. Jack, Jack, 9. So Pogorski up and down here. But Wong with a miracle flop there.
Good. 40. Hold.
Look at this spot for Wong here. This is exactly what he needed. He moves all in.
No way, Elton folds to. Oh, Elton snap folds with Jack 9. Oh, I thought he had 9-8. Excuse me. Just
Yeah, it's Wong with the Jack 9 here with the nuts. Now over to Pogorski, who's getting a good price here, but
what does he beat, right?
yeah, if you're up against a hand like Wong's, you're just drawing dead, obviously.
后备枪你送过茶了。
哦，账弄完了没有？你快点吧。
He's really thinking about it.
那边要结账了嘛？弄完以后我。
Does he think he's occasionally ahead against like 10-8?
西边的。喂。
I suppose, right?
喂。
He really wants to make a sick hero call. Drawing dead.
Wow, he lets it go. Wong takes down a nice pot there. That's exactly what he needed.
Yeah, I think Shanghai Wong was trying to make his hand look like a bluff.
You see River? Kind of.
干嘛 this 啊？我不知道。We'll all know very soon.
No, that is straight. What is straight?
Oh,
Scared of King Jack.
Queen 10. Queen Jack. 他中顺 Queen 10. 他中顺啊。
Well, I like, although Shanghai Wong didn't get paid off on that hand, I like him trying to make his value hands look like draws. I think he's intending to play very aggressively post flop.
I just couldn't help it, right? That's dumb. Always do that.
Oh, it's got some suited queen 10s right
There's extra 2
now.
over there. I don't know what that. Who's that?
Just do some stupid stuff.
Pogorski opening up the pocket kings. 35,000. Probably going to get Kwok to call. I don't really think Kwok seems like the folding type of queen 10 of diamonds. So he's going to call, but ST is going to fold his queen 10. A heads up pot.
Yeah, queen 10 of diamonds heads up against pocket kings here has about 30% equity.
Yeah, but it's doing amazing if his opponent actually had ace king, which is a hand he would be raising too. The flop comes ace king 10, set of kings for Pogorski. Kwok's got just a pair of 10s. So Pogorski needs to be betting here. It's going to fire about half of the pot.
Wow, Kwok putting him all in. Gortsky gets the bad news here.
So he's an 81% favorite. Needs to dodge a jack. Turns a 7. River card's a queen, so Pogorski's going to double up here. Just won about 200,000 euros.
Yeah, so far this cash game session not going very well at all for Kwok.
He's still up from his initial, or from his last buy-in. Pogorski's only down 14,000 euros now after winning that one. I believe Ivy is in for 200,000 euros. So actions on Elton saying he's going to limp. And Kwok is raising the button of ace-9 offsuit. And Elton limp shoves and gets snap called by Kwok. Kwok wants to play. Ace-9. This is loose. 490,000 euros in the middle. King, king, 6.
Tie. It's going to be a tie.
A 9 on a turn for Kwok. River is a 7, so Kwok's going to double up to and win a lot there. 252,000 euros.
That always happens.
Short deck.
99% of the time.
Here it goes. Here it goes.
Not so bad.
Moaning. There it is. World class.
World class, man.
232. One more.
By the way, have you changed $5? $5. Thank you.
All right, so ST gonna come along here. Actually, he's on the dealer button, excuse me. Using a different dealer button than the tournaments.
24.
Alright, so Elton's going to make it 24,000 with pocket jacks.
24.
He's been on a swingy game. He was up like 400,000 earlier, I believe. Now he's like breaking even. Pogorski calls, Ivy calls. All of Ivy's outs are dead, so there's 0 chance Ivy wins this pop post flop. No 8s remaining. Ace, Queen, 6.
Really interesting how the dealer puts the cards below the box
Yeah,
and pushes them into the box.
This is taking me for a curveball right now. But wait, Ivy's betting here with the worst hand, pocket 8s.
Not 10.
I was predicting that
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
Ivy would never win this pop post flop. But Pogorski's check raising of 8-9.
Yeah, thank you very much.
He has just 8-9.
How much was that?
Oh,
Hey, that is a pure bluff there.
play.
On an inside straight draw.
Check shot.
Felt weak.
Had you crushed.
I did not have crush.
Man.
What a sick play
Yeah,
from
they're playing
Pogorski. Just knowing that Ivy didn't have it.
对我最好的牌，妈。OK。嗯？The goal。
Hold. 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 Check. Four players.
Yeah, this cash game action is wild right now. Quonker's got King Jack and he's betting with nothing. Shanghai Wong with just 10 high. He's actually touching his chips. He's got nothing. Okay, he's gonna fold. Everyone gonna lay this one down.
Yeah.
Chat?
All of a sudden, this game that started off pretty snug is starting to loosen up here. Oh, Ivy back in jail.
Ivy jail, no phone.
Hold. 2000. Hold.
So Elton here, Queen 10 of spades.
Four. This please,
Raising on the button to 24,000. And Shanghai Wong's gonna call 10-8 offsuit. He thinks he's up against 2 overcards usually, but it's actually dominated. Flops 2 pair, Elton flops middle pair, the queen. 58,000 euros in the middle. The Chinese food is coming as well. So check, check. Shanghai Wong with 10-8. Probably want to start betting. But he's going to check again. Elton likely to take a free turn card. He does. River's an ace, so Shanghai Wong wins this pot as long as he doesn't fold. But he's checking, and he goes check, check, and Shanghai's going to win 58,000 euros.
赢。
没等我电视里看了一眼。
你赢啊！
看着他的眼神牌。
嗯？
什么东西？爷爷，没有。
等东西了，你赢了。
Shanghai Wang chipping away, taking back slowly some of the chips that he had lost in the first 2 hands of him sitting at the table. Four ways to the flop, top set for Shanghai Wang.
Yeah, it's a limp pot right now. Shanghai want to stab here. I think he should bet because most of the time, not another player won't have a big ace, considering he's holding 2 aces. So trying to charge some draws. Everyone's gonna fold this hand. Alright, King Jack offsuit for Kwok. He's going to call. A lot of early positions generally will just call their majority of their range. And
Can I order some food?
everyone's hungry right now. I wonder what Ivy wants to eat. I have no idea, actually.
I think we're going to see Ivy get some good Asian or Thai food.
I don't think they have Thai here, so I guess it's going to be some Chinese food usually. Although the Chinese food here is pretty good. So Pogorski with 2 pair checks. I believe everyone checked. Turns a 7 of clubs, so a 10 makes it straight. But ST's got the nut flush draw. But he just checks as well. Over to Ivy. He's got a straight. Would like to see him bet now because everyone's checked to him twice. He checks it back. Here's a jack. Ivy's got a lock on his hand. But 10 high straight. Pogorski's the one betting with just 2 pair, 40,000. That is an overbet.
Wow.
2x over. Gets Ivy to fold a straight. Wow. Ivy checked back the turn. If he bet, he would have won the pot. Now he's given up the pot in the middle.
And now it's Wang with the set of 7s who's thinking about making the call. He lets it go. Pogorski said that he's an aggressive player, and that was an aggressive play.
Yeah, show those cards. He showed both cards. Ivy now, been bluffed by Pogorski twice, is not amused.
Oh, baby. Wanted that pot real bad.
Pogorski is now up 128,000 euros.
Got it?
As you can see, Gabe Pogorski with the deepest stack now at the table. He has 528,000 euros in front of him. Elton, now the short stack. Elton was up a lot earlier.
Yeah, he's had a swingy day.
不要乱来 ，A 走 call all in， 不能来。
那是我瑞死了嘛，我瑞死了一半了，没办法了。
瑞死干嘛呢？
22.
我撤位嘛。
后卫一定要累死。
So Shanghai Wang raises queen 10 suited. Pogorski trying to set mine with 7s. Ivy trying to set mine with 9s. Ace jack for Kwok. He's likely to at least see a flop here. He's got the dealer button. He's going to make the call. Stacks are getting deeper. Earlier, everyone had 200,000 minimum. And everyone's got at least 350,000 in front of them. Flop is King Jack 6. And Shanghai Wong, the pre-flop raiser, actually has a open-ended straight draw to the nuts. Well, I like to see him bet here. He's going to do a pot-sized bet, roughly 71,000. No one's going to be able to continue. But maybe Kwok is a little bit suspicious. This would be a tough hand to continue post-flop. Is he gonna really play here? Ace Jack, four-way flop. Pre-flop raiser. Oh man, this is intense. Kwok he's got the right read right now.
Yeah, this would be a pretty loose call here.
It's a four-way raised pot. Shanghai, the C-better, can easily have ace king, king queen. He's gonna lay it down. Wants to see the turn card. Whenever you hear someone say he wants to see a turn card, they almost always have a draw.
If you're wondering where all the action is taking place, we are at the Maestro Resort and Casino in Montenegro. About 45 minutes to an hour from the airport. Very nice casino, great food, great spa, great staff.
Pool is really nice, actually. I went there earlier today. It's just like really nice.
I haven't been to the pool. I've only seen it from the gym. You look out over the pool and the water from the gym.
Yeah.
I haven't been down to the pool yet.
So King 7-7. Pogorski's the one betting with just ace 10 high. Ivy's calling him because he's been shown bluffs from Pogorski over and over again. So everyone else is going to lay down their hands. Turns a 9. Gives Pogorski a flush draw. If he wants to be aggressive, this is the card to be aggressive on. He's going to do a pot-sized bet roughly and gets Ivy to fold the best hand again. Pogorski playing very well against Ivy out of position. Seems to win every pot against them. Alright, so a bunch of players calling again. So another 22,000 euro limp pot. So Ivy has 2 pair, the best hand right now. Elton has a pretty good draw.
Bet 20,000.
A double gutter to the nuts. You always want to be trying to draw to the nuts when possible. Elton's going to check shove here for 153,000. Ivy with top and bottom pair. He's got a 58% chance to win if he obviously doesn't fold. He's going to make the call, and Elton's got a straight draw of 42%. So in this game, straight draws have hit a lot more because the 2s through 5s have been removed from the game. So 42% chance to hit a king or a 9. Card card's a 9, so Ivy needs.
Back in the game.
There it is.
Look at him go.
Ivy needs
Look
an
at him
ace or
go.
an 8.
Look at him run.
28.9.
River is a 9. Ivy loses that pot.
Hit it twice.
Yep. Not gonna hit next time, that means.
Wasted it.
Wasted it, yeah. Save one for next time.
So Elton doubles up there. Wins about 160, 70,000 euros.
Oh, it's so tilting when you have the draw and someone boats up on the turn. It's like something. It's like you were robbed of the whole 2-card sweat, you know. Maximum tilt.
I mean, Ivy did very well in the short deck events. He placed 3rd yesterday for 1.66 million USD, and he won the first event for at least 600,000 USD. So he's been doing very well in the short deck tournaments this week.
Raise 20,000.
What happened to all my winnings? Gone.
Yeah, it's very easy to win and lose all your winnings quickly in this game. High variance. Situations where all-in happens a lot too, post-flop.
Yeah, I lost my first blind. Real easy. Didn't even put up a fight.
Now you're in the fight.
I'm like trying to get a little.
See you in the game.
Yeah, I'm trying to swag on y'all.
I see it. I see it now. It's crystal clear.
It's crystal clear work.
So ST's betting with the worst hand right now.
He's gonna cut.
Yeah, you see a lot of people lead out low pairs in this game. It's a lot more common when they also have a gut shot, though.
Clear.
Elton now deciding if he wants to just call or raise in this spot. When he raises and his opponent gives him action, he's not really in love with it.
He's going to shove, you know, the best hand. Thinks he's got the best hand and try to not let his opponent catch up.
Yeah, it does look like ST is pretty short there, so I definitely like that shove with 2 pair.
So Elton swingy.
没关系的，我们啊。使唔使落場打下？
Call. Call. Check.
And so another multi-way limp pot. People are not being too aggressive pre-flop right now. And Quack flops the nuts, ace-10. He's checking.
Yeah, that's the flop you want to see with ace-10.
Yeah, usually actually someone has 2 pair, but surprisingly they don't. And so usually someone has a jack in this family pot, but no one does.
Yeah, so now you're betting to protect. If you're Quack, you may be concerned with so many players that somebody has a full house, but that's actually pretty unlikely because players would have bet the flop if they had a set or 2 pair. So Quack takes it down.
I only want to win 20 million.
This week?
Call. Well,
Today.
Right now.
Ooh. This is only 200,000 euro buy.
Yeah, I mean, 2 million.
Shanghai Wong raising it up. We'd see a lot of players choose to just call here. Wong, though, one of the more aggressive players at the table.
Did you hear me talking about the guy who ran up 59 buy-ins yesterday in the 100K buy-in game?
Yep. Only if you guys all start playing looser, something big swings might happen.
Yeah, straddle this much every time. Not for me.
Maybe a round straddle starting next hand.
Kwok getting about 2-1 to make this call here with pocket nines. You just never flop a set in this game, though, Randy.
Like the money goes in more, but it's kind of tighter when it's a big straddle in the button.
I did hear them say that you can straddle in this game.
From what position?
I don't know, but Elton was saying that we got to liven this game up with some straddle, so it's definitely something that can happen. We just get some loose players in here. They're all going to straddle. Love this. I want to see how it works.
Elton was trying to make the No Limit Hold'em game we played together bigger also. It seems like he just always wants the game to be bigger than it is.
You can't blame a guy for winning a one-drop, $1 million buy-in to want to play bigger.
There's no Kwok betting with the worst hand here, pocket nines.
He's got a club draw, so I don't really mind his bet. He can get better hands fold like jacks and tens and kings.
You think those are the hands he's targeting with this bet?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, he didn't get an ace to fold. So where was the 7? He's going to need a huge bet if he wants to win this pot.
Yeah, I would actually really like to see a bluff here. He does have a club in his hand, and he is blocking the straight.
But he thinks one bet is enough to stab at it. Shanghai Wong should be trying to take this hand to showdown, usually. Actually, he's thinking about betting, but he's going to check. I'm going to see the good news pretty soon. So 69,000 euros for Shanghai Wong. He's actually running his stack back up. It's not down too much anymore.
He's grinding it back out.
Yeah, he wants to go in guns blazing right at the beginning just to see if he needs to grind it out or not.
Whose play at this table are you most impressed by so far?
Crickets. I'm not too sure. I mean, like, I've seen some really nice bluffs by Prigorski. It's been playing the most creatively, I feel like. You know, Ivy's been solid. I think I like the way Elton's been playing. It seems like he's always trying to pick up small pots and is able to do so. We'll have to reevaluate that question a little bit.
Call. Option.
你也4000啊？你是4090啊？
我是89。妈逼
89什么东西啊？
Alright, so Kwok has a straight draw actually. If he hits a 9.
The more you broadcast this game, the more you're seeing those straights, Randy.
Yeah. I don't want to get caught not being able to see a straight anymore in this game. You caught me too many times, Kane.
That's good. It's better to have those moments in the broadcast booth rather than when you're holding the hand.
Yeah, just folding the nuts, right? Alright, so Kwok's actually going to call his inside straight draw. Turns an ace. That's good enough. Shanghai can't feel too good here.
And you can almost see the disappointment on Wong's face there before the check.
Even 8-9 is winning here, which
but
is a
Wong
straight.
does pick up a gut shot.
So Kwok's gonna fire out. He correctly deduces that he's got the best hand. Usually he's up against King Queen, Queen Jack, Queen 10. Shanghai Wong here, he only beats the hand like 10-8 and 10-9. So I expect to see him fold this hand. It's only got 18%. He's actually going to reach for chips. He does always reach for chips, though, so it's hard to say whether he's continuing. Would you like to continue here, or what are you thinking? He does make the call, right?
Yeah, I don't know. He did pick up a gut shot, but he just has such poor equity against anything that his opponent could possibly have in this spot, I feel like.
So he rivers 2 pair, but Kwok has a straight with an 8.
That's good news for Kwok. Things had not been going his way so far. He'd been running pretty badly.
So it looks like he's going to reach for shoving chips. He's all in. For Shanghai Wong to make this call, he needs to think of some very creative bluffs. Like a queen turning his hand into a bluff. Like a, trying to think, queen 10 of clubs. I guess that's a reasonable hand, right? What else can you think of?
Yeah, I think the way we've seen Kwok playing, it's pretty unlikely that Kwok would have a hand worse than the 2 pair of Wong.
So I think he said that he might have queen king, his opponent. Trying to think of some hands he beats. So again, an 8 makes a straight. 6, 7, 8, 9, ace. Ace acts as a 5. Yeah, this is some. He's reaching really hard to try to find some bluffs.
Yeah, Wong is deep in the tank here. He knows it's very, very unlikely his opponent is bluffing, but at the same time, how many 8s does Kwok really have in this spot?
That is a very good point. He is on a dealer button, so he's much more likely to have an 8 than most players. He's going to make the nice laydown.
开个突击啊！
等会看得到的呀，等会看得到，我这里看得到等会。
Call. Call.
Alright, so Shanghai Wong calls with Jack 9 offsuit.
Fold. Option. Check.
Another multi-way limp pot. Seems to be quite common right now. The dynamic can easily change though.
5 players.
So Shanghai Wong's gonna bet out with Jack 9. He's got a blocker and bottom pair. Gonna get almost everyone to fold. Should get everyone to fold. Not sure what Ivy's thinking about. ST here. Actually, he can hit a queen or an 8. So he's gonna maybe come along here. It's not a nutted draw though.
That's up.
But Shanghai Wong has the best hand. Turns a jack, so he's got 2 pair. ST with just a pair of jacks. You might want to consider. Well, I would like to see Wong consider checking. He's actually thinking about betting himself. I think he's turning his hand into a bluff slightly. 42,000. ST's going to lay down Jack 7. So Shanghai Wong still being aggressive right now. Those purples are 1,000. Reds are 10,000. And grays are 100,000 euros apiece. No actions on Pogorski. He's going to raise it up to about 15,000. Ivy calls in position of ace-10.
I think we should double the stakes soon.
Elton wants to double the stakes.
Check. Check. Check.
I mean, it'll be more fun.
Bet 33. Hold.
Pogorski once again bluffs Ivy off of the best hand. Pogorski playing great short deck hold'em right now.
Touchy.
There it is.
Nice bet.
You have an ace?
I dispose it over here. You have an ace.
Pocket ace.
妈比我8局，他8局。
So that's like a new.
Call for.
Fold.
Fold. Hold. Call option.
I think this is my first bluff on TV that worked my whole life. I made like 4 the other day, just every one you looked me up.
Me?
Yeah, on the final table, the first final table you made.
Well, this is a tough one to look up, but I consider it.
10,000.
All right, so Pogorski flops a straight and he's got a flush draw as well, but doesn't get paid off by anything.
Oh.
Surrender.
Wow.
Look at that flop.
Two you double the stakes.
Back door. What do you have? You have 9-8 spade? You have flush draw too? Potential?
It felt like 9-8.
Did you have 9-8 spade or 9-8? You have all that potential, that's why.
Yep, just
clear
stick it
play.
in. Just stick it in. Say, show me a hand, Phil Ivey.
You know I never have nothing smart. It's too smart.
All right, so Ivy's going to limp king, queen suited. Elton really wants to double the stakes. That'll be fun.
Price 32.
Oh.
Call.
Instantly, after requesting doubling the stakes, Elton makes it 32,000 with Jack-10 offsuit. Pogorski and Ivy sharing the same hand. He's going to come along as well. ST with pocket eights. Not really in a great spot with his hand, but he's going to try and flop a set.
Call.
Shanghai Wong's going to lay his hand down. So four-way, 132,000 in the middle right now.
Everybody hit.
Four players.
I'm gonna sweat it too. I got the button. I'm peeling.
And Elton flops a full house. Ivy, king, queen, a straight draw. Pogorski actually has a royal flush draw right now. And a straight flush draw. If he hits those, that would beat Elton's full house. So he bet 60,000 in here. Half of the pot. I doubt Pogorski would fold his hand. He's thinking about whether he can raise.
No.
Pogorski's thinking about raising. Semi-bluffing here. He still has 29%.
Right.
Because a flush actually beats a full house in this game.
Chop chop.
So Elton calls.
Got a boat.
Pogorski's got 33% chance to win. As long as he hits a flush, a royal flush, or a straight flush,
Yeah, I'll chop
he will
the
beat
pocket
Elton's hand in this game. 820,000 euros in the middle. Turn card's a jack.
That's a bad sign for you, bro.
18% for
That's a
Pogorski.
bad sign, seriously. Just so you know.
Royal flop. Royal.
Rear card's a 7. So Elton's going to double up there. That is a big, big, big pot. He wins 444,000 euros, 820,000 euros in the middle.
Me?
What can I?
3.48.
Just now?
Yeah.
3.48.
3, 2,
Ooh, a bit low.
Oh,
That
king,
is
queen,
the
or heart?
biggest pot so far in
Sure.
this short deck cash game today.
Should it be full?
King, queen, or heart.
It's good.
Yeah, I mean, poker 8. Should it be full 300k?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I think it's very close.
I think on TV you have to call.
It's why I call.
You know what I mean?
So Elton's up 620,000 euros.
Yeah.
He is doing the best
You don't want to call.
I was asking
in this
for
cash game right now.
and did to myself.
Got all the action.
On TV should be called.
With that stack.
call 4. Call. Right.
So Elton's going to make it 16K. Currently the biggest winner right now. ST of Ace Queen. He's just got a limp shove here. He's only got 136,000. He does go all in.
Quarter.
Should see Elton lay down to King Queen.
Yeah.
So actions on Wong. He's going to
Call.
call here. Sixes.
Call. Fold. Call. Option. Back. Four blows. Tag.
10, 8, 7.
Bet.
So Ivy's got the best hand of top pair, top kicker, but Elton's the one betting, and he gets top pair, top kicker to fold. ST's gonna call 8, 9. So the best hand on the flop is out of here. 63% chance for Elton. Turn is an ace. Ivy would have made 2 pair. No player's liking this ace on the turn, but Elton's still betting. He's gonna pot size bet here, 40,000. ST with a straight draw. Thinking about making his call. He is gonna call. He is behind right now.
Wow. 这哪一分呢？你看。
River is another ace. So Elton has the winning hand as long as he doesn't fold. But both players just has a pair of 8s with their aces on the board. I mean, he was bluffing the turn. He probably still thinks he's behind, but he's going to check. And ST might take the showdown thinking he beats like King Jack of Diamonds, King Queen of Diamonds. He does check and gonna get shown the bad news.
What?
What?
8、9啊。8、9啊。
So Elton's going to win a huge pot there with just a pair of 8s. Extending his profit on this cash game. 673,000 euros right now. I mean, I've been excited to watch Elton play some short deck. He's impressing right now. He's sitting with 873,000 euros in front of him. ST, it's got the shortest stack at the table, but he's only in for 200,000 euros. Alright, so Ivy's gonna raise here in the hijack, and Pogorski's gonna try to flop a set of sevens. Very hard to play your pocket pair unless you hit a set. And he does not. Ivy flopping trip aces with a queen kicker. Gonna take a stab here, 40,000, and this hand's over. Alright, so Pogorski, you know, he's been stabbing a lot of these simple pots, so that's good to see.
Nothing on my chip. Just went away.
Yeah, I hear that. Played like 8 million pot, I just lost.
I didn't see it.
See?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I had straight royal flush
Oh, yeah,
draw.
that one. Yeah. I was in that one.
I just thought I was gonna hit royal. You
Alright,
know?
so Elton here, pocket queens, he's gonna open this pot up.
Nope.
老婆，这个汤喝掉，汤喝掉。
I don't want to tell you how I pulled the ace 9 diamond.
这一份啊，给你喝吧。
No,
What I just
没有啊，没有。
no, not ace 9 diamond. Right.
我那要的呀。
Same answer.
I know.
For hearts.
yeah, it's like that's
So you just shoved it.
pre.
没有的呀，这一份呢。
You didn't have that much chips though,
这
did
这
you?
一份呀，你不喝吗？哎，等慢点。
Pre? You had like I don't know.
Nuts.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I might have gambled with you. We would have chopped it up.
Doubt it.
Doubt it. Oh.
Alright, so limp pot coming here. Just heads up limp pot. Seems kind of uncharacteristic. Someone's slurping on some noodles hard.
On.
Really?
Alla Kala.
Gorski just keeps betting with the worst hand and keeps bluffing Ivy every single pot right now. Looks like Kwok is taking a little break. Just sat up for a little bit. Jack 6 of clubs, one of the worst hands in the game. Jack 6 offsuit specifically in multi-way. 7-6 offsuit being worse than heads up. Both. It's like having deuce 7 and 2-3 offsuit. ST is going to bump up his button to 22,000. Ivy of 10-9 offsuit. He's not playing against that deep of a stack, so he's going to take a flop out of position. Queen 8-8. ST flops top pair, top kicker. He's only got 77,000 chips remaining, so we'd like to see him just bet and stay committed, but he actually checks. And Ivy turns a straight here. So, because SC didn't bet the flop, he's going to let Ivy outdraw him 30,000 on a turn. Don't think ST can fold for just 30,000 when considering he's only playing 77,000 remaining. But he's thinking about it. He makes the call. Well, actually, excuse me, there's actually 100,000. He must have topped off, so he's actually playing more stack than it seems. River is an ace. So Ivy still has a straight. King 10 does get there as well. So Ivy, he's going to almost bet all in. 79,000. ST trying, can only hero call here. So he's actually playing about probably 147,000 in stack. Small graphical error because the gray black is 100,000. He lays it down. So another pot for Ivy.
No.
So Elton's got pocket aces, limping under the gun, super sneaky. He's the biggest winner right now. Shanghai Wong makes it 24,000 of ace king suited. Elton re-raises to 126,000. I seriously doubt Shanghai Wong will fold ace king suited. This hand is such a premium against a player like Elton, but he's in terrible shape right now. It's another 100,000. I think Shanghai Wong usually just needs to go all in or fold. Make his decision right now. So he is all in. Ace king suited. Elton's in great shape against Shanghai Wong. King on flop. Needs to hit another king. Turn is a 7. 7% chance. And king on a river.
Yes.
Brutal.
Like that always. You know what? Just count it. How much?
There it is.
嗯？没办法开出来打完，跟一个开出来打完嘛。
Elton loses 427,000 euros in that pot. 7% on the river. Shanghai Wong now in the green. That is brutal. Such a huge pot.
没得保险呀。
上期是天
390、711。我来拿。OK。
好吧，以上这个可以。
好，耶，Thank you。
往下场说就行了。啊。放个火计。
So Shanghai Wang wins 440,000 euros. And Elton lost a huge pot to laughing.
哎呦，
妈的，这个跟一个也打完。好的，我不管了。
算了，不用搞了。
他已经
He's up 260,000.
他现在已经这个把盘没买到了。哎呦，好，我不管。
愿意就是。
愿意就买，不愿意你就发财吧，记账就可以。
你们记上。
这把没办法了。啊，没办法了。
没办法啦，
打完了我不可能扔了嘛，对吧？对。
All right, so we got a multi-way limp pot coming up. Elton, Queen Jack suited. He's gonna raise it up to 34,000 after losing that huge. I wouldn't even want to call it a cooler, more of a suck out.
Okay.
Kwok is shoving all in with 10-9 offsuit.
妈的！
Wow. This is an action-heavy game. 233,000. Elton's gonna call Queen Jack suited. There's so many dead chips in the middle.
Yes.
Pogorski's calling of King Queen suited.
Choice, I don't think.
Ivy's all in with 10-9 offsuit. This is a four-way all in. 704,000 euros. No one has an ace in their hand right now.
This is my hand.
哦，黑鬼牌最好了，你怎么盘？顾城，你什么？你什么？
Shit.
就是啊。
Whoa, best hand.
啊。
Pogorski, the best hand of King High.
嘛，那上次我给你个上了嘛，6、7，不要来6、7啊。
Comes the flop. Ace Queen 9.
6.
So Pogorski's got the best hand right now. Turns a jack.
Who's that?
两头顺两个人。
Elton turned the best hand.
Yeah.
6.
Flush.
River's a queen. And Kwok has a flush. He beats the full house of Elton's Queen Jack. Kwok, the one who limp raised all in of 10-9 offsuit. Scoops his pot, even though Ivy has the same hand.
跟你抢嘛，一抢死钱了。
我也 K， 他 AA，
已经跟了，
我把我打了10万，他打了我100万，哦，后面还有一共是。
Kwok is now in the green, I believe. The action is getting crazy.
跟一个没用啊，跟一个开成什么6圈 K， 还是要打完的，对吗？
187. I got the rest, I guess.
Chips.
Wow, Elton makes a full house and loses
Good hand, Kwok.
all his chips to Kwok.
少一份呀，
Why couldn't come spades?
我这是一份，
Oh wait, hearts.
他没有这么多嘛？
这没有这么多，
他没有这么多。
他就这一点点。
对。
This has been back-to-back sick pots.
运气好的这90。
Kwok is in for 350,000 right now. He's got 879,000 euros in front of him.
你包好，你这个90扔了。
Your button.
哦，对了，对了。
Close.
So you're allowed to take chips off the table as long as you leave at least 400,000 on the table.
Yeah, I was gonna go with any pair.
Oh, you didn't have a pair though.
Queen?
Oh, you did have
Yeah,
a
flop chair on the flop. You said that's me.
I was
Oh,
crushing.
that's him.
I was counting my money.
Oh,
I
no,
was
but
already...
I saw he didn't have that much money though, so I was like, okay, whatever.
It was still like 1.86. It wasn't tiny stat.
So Ivy's going to get 200 more thousand.
Chips.
Are you calling?
Caller, yeah, caller.
All right, call.
Caller.
加码啊，加码啊！
Caller.
Ten club。哎，去叫拿个牙签来，干嘛给他？来，准备把这个收掉。
那换一个吧。
来，再拿个牙签来，拿牙签。好了。嗯，放到这个。
Check.
Got another 4-way flop, 20,000 euros in the middle. Doesn't seem like too many players have a good hand here. Turns a queen, so 2 players make a straight, but a king can easily make a straight. If someone stabs, they can easily win this pot. Ivy's the one stabbing at it. 14,000, but Elton's not going to fold his straight. Suspicious of Ivy. So he makes a call for 14,000 when someone could easily have a king.
All in.
River's a king, so they are going to chop this pot.
All in.
You're going to chop this pot. Everyone else got a bad hand.
So unlucky. Yeah. Okay.
Running good today.
So 194,000. Ivy's down.
How much you winning?
Should have been more.
How much you in? You in one buy-in? Or?
Yeah, one buy-in.
Yeah, Elton would have been
Got
up
all
like
that right there.
at least 800,000 euros. Maybe even up to almost €1 million if you won that pot.
Story of my life.
Alright, so nothing's been going ST's way. He's going to open this pot. Elton's going to call Jack 10. Gorski of 9-7 offsuit. That's very loose.
You guys all stuck?
Open.
Yep.
Okay, I see.
Let's hit.
Everyone's stuck, so everyone wants to play now.
Loosen up a bit now, huh?
Play some big ones.
10-9-8. Elton's got a straight draw with his pair. Ivy, but nut straight draw. Actually, the one firing. No, maybe. He's going to shove all in here. Double pot. This is very aggressive.
How much?
Elton with a pair and a straight draw doesn't want to let this hand go. The action is, now it's getting very action heavy. Was a little bit slow.
What do
you got?
10 jack.
458,000 euros in the pot, almost $500,000.
It's a good matchup.
Huh?
As you can see, the equities and tie
You are.
on the bottom. Elton's ahead, needs a king or a queen.
Queen, yeah.
River is a 7, so they're going to chop it up.
How about
Split it up.
It's like he doesn't even think about the queen option.
Huh?
Yeah, it's spell
Doesn't
poker.
even think about the 7. Yeah. The tie. Just doesn't think.
Just put some money in with one pair.
It's like, you're going with the queen.
Pair is good.
Pair was good.
should just bet first.
Sure.
non特质点都比我多。
Action on Shanghai Wong. 8-9 of diamonds. He's in the green. This is such a swingy game. Some of these players were down a ton and now are up a lot. Ivy's raising king queen offsuit. To Pogorski with top pair, top kicker. Same as Ivy. Pogorski's the one betting out. Even though Ivy's the pre-flop raiser.
On.
He's actually shoving all in. Should get Ivy to shove all in. So another chop pot coming unless Pogorski can hit a flush. He's got a 4% chance to hit a flush. Just 4%.
Do it. Do it.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, there's
This
the
is real life right
draw on
now.
a turn. 18% to outflush Ivy.
Almost.
They're gonna
Almost.
chop up river card.
Almost.
Nice turn. Can't get any better.
Yeah, that was fun. Chopping. That's when chopping's fun. Yeah. That's
No,
okay.
he can't. Give it to me.
Just give it to me. I'll give you 5.
Now, making a flush is a good thing to do in this game because it's hard. If you can make a flush, it's pretty good. The problem is it's so hard to make a flush. That's why they changed
How
the
we get
hand
our
ranking,
Just like that.
where a
Not
flush
chopping.
beats a full house.
It's gotta spill some blood.
Look, I'm already winning this from chopping.
Oh, that's right.
400.
It's one chop
Because-
at a time.
Look at that.
Move up the ladder.
Since the 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s are removed, that's 5 flush outs removed from the game that you normally would have. Alton's going to open up ace-queen offsuit.
Call.
Gorski's going to call.
Here's your arm.
An ST of ace-king. This is a slam dunk shove with his stack size. Doesn't even need to tank. Alright, so ST's all in. Elton's probably not loving it, but ST only has 115,000. So he might feel committed of ace-queen after making it 24,000. And then there's the other 24,000 from Pogorski that's dead money, as well as Shanghai Wong's call. But he actually lays down ace-queen. So he really respects ST's range and folds ace-queen. Very nice laydown. Pogorski might want to, he's considering calling here, hoping he's up against ace-king. If he's ever against pocket queens and plus, though, he's in bad shape. So he's going to call queen 10 in better shape than the ace-queen of Elton. So 258,000 euros in the middle with just queen 10 and ace-king.
Cover.
So Pogorski needing to hit a jack. There's the straight.
Oh,
ST's been felted. 0% chance.
哎呀！干什么？一
That's how you get out.
一串。
1.9.
Elton folded
193.
a twin, which is ace queen.
多呢？
The
不晓
nuts.
得，给我给我。
5, 5, 5, 4.
给他。
7.
I mean, Kane's the one with the statistics, but I believe Queen 10 is around 43% roughly, give or take a couple percent. ST is going to re-enter for another 200,000 euros.
You knew he had ace king. Huh? It's hard to call. If you're stuck, would you have called? Why? Everything's different when you're stuck, you know.
I'm stuck all the time.
Stuck since I was born.
I feel like I'm always stuck for some reason.
In short deck, equities are much closer because 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s have been removed. So I believe Kane's been saying that, say you got ace king against pocket kings, you're actually like a 40% against 60, roughly. So some of the differences is you need to know your math in this game. If you don't know your math in short deck, you're not going to do very good. For example, an open-ended straight draw versus top pair on this board. Say someone had ace king and someone had 10-9 here. It'd be a coin flip. So Shanghai Wong putting both of the players all in here with 2 pair. ST with king jack. In a tough spot trying to figure out if his opponent has a draw. If his opponent has a draw, he should be making the call, but he doesn't know that he's behind. Not too many people play 8s and 7s in their hand because they just aren't that good. But he's still going to lay down king jack.
来，退400万回去来，退400，来200，来200，不用退了，人家下打上来，一样不受水无所谓。
There are players on the wait list to get into this game.
打这个好啊，下次一直打这个好。
I suspect Tom Dwan is on that list.
差不多不干了。
I heard he was up very late, so there's a chance he's still asleep. And it is 10 p.m. right now, local. ST here of Queen Jack. He's gonna open this pot up.
Price 20,000.
中国人听不见，就是老外。放就完了。老外
都听得见啊。
往网上放嘛。
谁有？谁听得到？
Check. 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 Check.
2对。
Check. Show them. Queen Jack.
All in.
All in.
不是你刚才还没发功嘛？不能发啊？
这不就是视频吗？
视频，对呀，视频发功啊。
Call, hold. Call. Raise 22.
Oh.
Call 22. And call. Replace. Check. Check. 30. 4.
Shanghai Wang here with just king high. Don't think he's going to continue on this board.
Yeah, I forgot all about it. Now.
Oh, I'm wrong. He calls. So a float here from Shanghai Wang with king 10. Turn card is a jack, so Elton pairs up. I wonder if he'll keep betting or check this turn.
Yeah, I call you with sevens. See this?
What happened?
You raised me up. I had sevens and I tried to bust you.
He checks.
And it came like that.
Just checking.
Give it up. Give it up.
Real quick.
We'll hope that's any two cards.
And Shanghai Wang rivers the straight. He bets out here into Elton. Elton with 2 pair queens and jacks. He's asking himself, does my opponent simply have an ace? Could I raise him off of this hand? I do block a lot of full houses. The problem is that my hand doesn't look like a full house. Wow, he just makes a call. And he gets the bad news here from Shanghai Wang. I'm surprised to see Elton make that call. I'm not really sure what hands he's expecting to see. I guess he expects to see 8-9 for the straight draw, 6-8, 6-9 in decent amount. But it still was a pretty loose call there. Elton was not expecting to see king 10, I'll tell you that.
You know you're going to get the laughter immediately after. You know the laugh is coming immediately after.
Oh, man. 买大字吗？哎呀，He's got my number.
Well, 3 ways to a flop here. So if you guys are wondering if some chips are leaving the table, it's actually the players agreed that if you get up over 400K, you can go south for back down to 400K in this game. Gortsky flops a straight. Wang, though, turning the double belly buster here. Curious to see if we're going to see Wang bluff. These players are pretty deep here, or if we'll just see him call. Looks like he's putting together calling chips, but now reconsidering. He does just call. He's looking to make a straight on the river here.
Check.
An 8, it's just a pair. Checks over to Pogorski. Now, Pogorski, this board is getting more and more dicey for his hand. Will we see him value bet?
130. Bet.
130,000. A big bet there. Shanghai Wang lets it go. Pogorski takes it down.
一样，他肯定有18、10。
他那龙龙啊，让龙龙可打坏了。
龙龙打他？
龙龙打他一局。龙龙一眼我反头丢，一丢到他打开自己脱机，龙龙打开比他还小，气的。两个头来头去。
好。
龙龙打他好像很会打的，我奇怪。
龙龙喜欢打老。
Couple of limps.
啊？走了。
走了。
If you guys are just tuning in today to the stream for the first time, let me tell you, you guys missed out on some pretty awesome action the past couple of days. The Triton Poker Series had 4 events here in Montenegro. The main event was a $1 million Hong Kong buy-in no-limit hold'em event, but actually the 4th event, the event after that, the $1 million Hong Kong buy-in short deck event, that event was even bigger. Got 103 entries. First place in that tournament was about 3.6 million USD.
That is 26.
Shanghai Wang here, raising up Pogorski, a super small raiser. It's basically like a min raise. Just correctly reading the situation that Pogorski doesn't have anything. But Pogorski floating here with Queen 10. He doesn't think that Wang has anything. Wang, though, with trip aces. What a great raise here by Wang if you're going to get your opponent to call with just Queen High. Now Pogorski turns a gut shot, and in situations like this, when you make a loose call on the flop and you actually turn some equity, it's really, really difficult to let your hand go. $56,000 on the turn by Wang. A lot of top pros very good at after floating the flop, even when they pick up some equity on the turn. If they have the read that their opponent won't continue to fire, then they let it go. But look, Pogorski's going to raise. Pogorski raises it up to 160,000 euros with just Queen 10. This is putting Wang in a tough spot here. I know he has trip aces, but his opponent is representing a stronger hand for sure. Pogorski. He's a lot of fun to watch him play. Wang has to be worried about the situation here. He's thinking if Pogorski had ace-6 or ace-7, he'd probably just call. So it looks like Pogorski has a stronger ace than ace-10 or maybe even a full house here. That being said, though, you really don't want to fold trips, especially against a bluffy opponent. Shanghai Wang moves all in against Pogorski. And Pogorski lets it go. Great read there by Shanghai Wang, and he's now up to 762K. Very nice shove there by Shanghai Wang, and Shanghai Wang shows why when you have a really strong hand, even when your opponent is representing stronger, you can't really hero fold in that spot unless you have a strong read on your opponent, just because it's so unlikely based on combinatorics that your opponent has a hand stronger than yours. I know he's representing a stronger hand, but if you ever fold and your opponent's bluffing, it's just really, really bad.
那这怎么去更啊？对吧？肯定是7-9嘛。来200还掉来，没上没有，全部是在上。
Also, Shanghai Wang did have about 25% equity if his opponent had a hand like pocket eights in that spot.
80.
还了500万嘛，还了600万，赢了500万，500多。
Gorski fires here, getting floated by ST.
你要再赢我这把大喽。
AK 对吧？不赢都输了，不赢就输了，这把
That's a good turn card to see.
800多，900了。
When you float with 8-10, I think we're definitely going to see ST fire at this turn. The question is, Pogorski turning a pair of 9s, is he going to fold?
Bet 16.
16,000. It's a really small bet. Pogorski calls. I would be calling facing a bet of that size as well.
AK 哇，发2个7全 K， 发个7发个 K。
The river card is a jack, and what a great run out for ST. I think that's why he floated the flop. He had a decent amount of back doors with this hand.
买保险也买2万块。
Bet.
56,000 euros by ST on the river.
56.
能不能看到这个赔率多少？
这里看不到，我看不清楚。
Gorski contemplating a call here.
对啊，4个人 all in 嘛。
It really looks like his opponent just flopped a king, and he does let it go.
可能要自己
ST
算。
takes that one down. Pogorski loses a couple of back-to-back pots here.
应该是全 K 最后在哪？
We saw Gabe take third place in the opening event of this series. That was a 250,000 Hong Kong dollar buy-in event. Phil Ivey actually won that event.
How about ace on the turn?
How about I just fold real far?
Yeah, it's just like once you put 300 in, it's like hit 9. Yeah, I go. It's stick to that 10-9 shit the hand, but.
差41，我26。
他们很少了。
So if you're tuning into Short Deck for the first time, hand rankings are a little bit different than in No Limit Hold'em.
That's me, Elton.
The most important thing is that your hand is connected. There's a big difference between Jack 10 and Jack 9, for example. Jack 10 is a pretty strong hand. Jack 9 is really a borderline hand. Your hand being suited is actually less important in this game than in No Limit Hold'em. Even though a flush does beat a full house, which makes flushes more valuable, it's just so unlikely you're going to get a flush in this game. There are only 9 cards of each suit, so it makes it tough to get 5 of your suit. Also, pocket pairs are a little bit different in this game than in No Limit Hold'em. You're more likely to flop a set if you start with a pocket pair, but the set is a lot more vulnerable in this game than it is in No Limit Hold'em. If you have top set and your opponent has an up and down straight draw, you're only about a 2-to-1 favorite in this game. Also, obviously, set over set situations occur much more frequently in this game than they do in No Limit Hold'em.
Just so you know. Because I know you get confused a little
You
bit
won't see
sometimes.
very much slow playing in Short Deck, and the reason why is because so much can change with each card. There are almost no blanks in the game. And now Pogorski turning a king high flush. This hand is super strong, and he raises it up.
I think he went with 10-9 and I didn't. Huh? That doesn't seem fair.
Elton lets it go. Kortsky not happy with that result. We said there's not much slow playing. You can actually choose to sometimes slow play flushes. Those are one of the few hands in this game that are not vulnerable.
You just can't help yourself. You're like, board change.
Huh?
That's worth 300. Like board change.
Help myself.
Oh.
Fold.
Call. Price 24. Hold. Call. Price over.
Wait a second. Hold on a second here. Hold on a second here.
Hold.
Wish I was last.
Hold. Four. 24, bring it in. That's fine. 160. 180. 189.
All right, so Elton's all in ace king. Shanghai Wang want to make this loose call of 7-8 of diamonds. Yeah, he's gonna let it go. So Elton, he could have been up like 800,000 euros at one point if he didn't get rivered by Shanghai Wang.
双盘19、18省个屁啊！你对9你都没追，
这9你奥运，
对9不行啊，对10行不行？
对10可以，对9没搞。18方片的那个。
Call for. Call. Hold. Call. Call. And check. Raise.
All right, so Jack 8-8 Rainbow. Ivy's got top pair. Elton's got top pair. No one's got an 8, and no one with a draw. So Elton's gonna bet.
Bet 13.
But actually, Ivy with the best hand right now.
Hold.
But
Fold.
Ivy folded. Ivy folded the best hand again.
when you just fold.
Hey, can you fold your hand? Thank you.
Actually, Ivy's been folding like the best hand in these small pots a lot, especially to Gabe.
No board yet. This is when we're trying to get on. Oh, yeah.
Oh, the 10
Yes, you can tell. It's like I had 9-7 offsuit. I was trying to win a big one.
7-9, you have pair no pair there.
I was scared I was dead. 2 people all in. Heads up.
I have a jack. I'm all in. It's a good play.
No outs.
Another good
Queen,
play.
7.
Who's the favorite?
What does it say?
Hold.
50-50 or no?
You have 7 outs, buddy. And some chop.
7 to win, 4 to chop. Call.
Oh, option.
It's quite a lot.
What do you say,
Oh,
man?
says you're the favorite.
What's it say?
Well,
You said
two-handed. Two-handed
You see raise?
I can't see.
No, I know I'm a dog.
51? I can't see.
But that's include my, because I got a 7. That's kind of bad for
What happened? Wait, what's going on here?
It's on film. We're
On
waiting.
film?
He's
Okay.
got options.
Check.
Stop watching TV.
Turn it off.
We gotta pay attention to this game right
It
here.
is weird how you see
Yeah,
the
this game's
cards.
not big
I
enough
know,
for Elton.
and we're like,
You want to keep watching, seeing?
now you guys know exactly.
I want to
how
see
I'm
the straddles.
Yeah.
You know?
Everything.
It's a good flop for Phil Ivy's hand. He has top pair plus a gut shot here. I don't think we're going to see Ivy get bluffed on this flop.
Yeah, Ivy's been a little bit conservative in the really multi-way pot. he gets turned.
Disaster turn for Phil Ivy here.
It's making a call down though. He really needs that ace. 6 on the river is not going to do it. Elton is not perceived to have a 9 too often because he bet the flop.
In this game, more than in No Limit Hold'em, he's more likely to have a 9s. It's a more standard lead on the flop here with a second or third pair plus a straight draw.
I have seen people betting like,
Yep.
like weak hands, like you know, like say like it was like ace king queen. I've seen people bet like jack 8 on the flop and stuff like that. They were just trying to stab at pots. I noticed a lot in short deck. You know, something that's probably not very common in No Limit Hold'em. People just like stabbing 6 ways with just nothing.
Yeah, so something that you don't see a lot of in this game compared to No Limit Hold'em is players checking down, trying to show down a hand with equity. That almost never happens in this game. So if you have some equity, let's say like bottom pair plus a gut shot, players kind of lead to merge, and it's really interesting because we're not seeing too many flop check raises, but in my opinion, that should really open it up to players check raise bluffing you.
So Kwok here, he's going to come along with king 9 of clubs. He's got position. They got a very similar hand. Pogorski usually the more aggressive player though. And he's going to try to be aggressive on this flop. He's got king 10 high, but he checks instantly. Kwok checks back this nut flush draw. Turns a 9. Pogorski checking again quickly.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see Kwok check this back on the flop.
On the turn, he checks again. River is a 9, so Pogorski just king 10 high. I think he's going to look to try and stab here. Just feels like Kwok has not got too much, but he's wrong. 17.
Well, at least it's a small bet, less than half the size of the pot.
Like to see Kwok come along. It's actually reaching for raising chips.
Yeah, I like this raise here from Kwok. It's just really, really unlikely that Kabortsky has a better hand. A lot of times Kabortsky's going to have a worse 9.
Yeah, it's going to have to lay that down. I think he showed a king. I like this Kwok guy.
Yeah.
So the buy into this cash game, 200,000 euros. These players are playing such that if you get up over 400,000 euros, you're allowed to take money off the table to bring your stack back down to 400,000 euros.
Raise 32.
公布该定房。
34, sorry. 34 raise. Fold. I'm fold.
会用赢钱啊，现在。
500。
赢5。哦，赢50。欧元50。
这个嘛。
啊，50这个。你见过的哦，对，赢了这把4个人的。
头上长角的一样的牌也可以赢。2个90还可以赢的。
我这个牌就说实话，打法是没错的。
不懂，反正我是赢不了。
里面600多的死10几万的死。
All right, so a bunch of people calling right now. Shanghai Wong checking the King Jack offsuit. This is a 2,000 euro ante, 4,000 euro button ante. Short deck event. Well, not really event, short deck cash game. Special for you guys. Elton flop trip nines, he's going to check. Pogorski for straight draw is going to bet here 15,000. Ivy with top pair folds. Shanghai Wong folds and Elton. Does he raise or does he call? He just calls here for 9.
Yeah, when you raise here, you don't really get too many worse hands to continue.
He turns a boat, that's the best card, so now he doesn't have to worry about getting outdrawn by a straight type hand. And look at this, Pogorski's betting again. He's got 0% right now. 32,000 euros on a bluff.
And now if you're Elton, Nano, do you want to raise or call the turn?
I'm just calling here. If my opponent can easily have a hand like Queen Jack, and he's probably not going to call a shove. By raising, you kind of look like you have a boat, and your opponent might not chase a draw on a paired board. Looking at his stack. So Elton here, I mean, he's thinking about raising. He thinks Pogorski's maybe kind of strong here. Be a mistake.
I mean, the last thing Elton wants is for Kaborski to have a hand like King 9 and then check back an 8 river, for example.
Come over here.
He is going to reach for raising chips. And Pogorski's got to lay this one down.
Yeah, Gabe has to be thinking nothing has been going my way lately.
Move over here.
I think Elton probably not too pleased with his raise after seeing Pogorski's snap fold.
I'm gonna check my cards over.
No, I think it's good. I think it's right. We having a little break or something? We'll watch it. Yo, dude, watch it.
Looks like players are going on break, and it looks like Rui will be joining the table.
No. I don't like the middle seat. I can't protect my hand good enough. Is it a break?
Take 5.
So we got some new players coming in soon.
So players are taking a quick 5-minute break, guys. Stay tuned, and we will be back shortly.